Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the I Am Not a GM Speed Chess Championship. I'm your host, Grandmaster Daniel Naroditsky. Alongside me today is Grandmaster Jeffrey Wait a minute. Sorry, 1 second. Whoa. We're getting word that Levy is currently advising Danny Rensch, and we have a secret camera installed, so let's tune in before I go any further.
He's very good, not because anyone's bad. I can't roast anybody anymore. I lost, so I'm very professional now. Even my roasting of Eric, all gone. Are we live? Did they just zoom in? Are we just? Oh, hi, Danny. We're live, apparently.
Wait, we're live?
Yeah.
Thanks for the warning, guys.
Yeah, what? Okay. Danny, I was asked yesterday if I would join you for a fun pre-show bit, pumping up Danny to beat Eric.
Okay. I just so the world knows, I have no idea what's going on here. I was invited at the last second.
Because I lost to him, so this is very poor coaching. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to say.
No, but you beat him last year. Like, let me ask you, did you think you were the underdog last year?
No, actually, well, whenever we played fun matches, like just on stream or whatever, I always would win a close match. Like, I would either be winning, he'd get close, or I would pull away at the end. I didn't know what to expect, but all I knew is that in the Speed Chess Championship, I would get extremely nervous, like beyond, you know. And so for this year, I held it together for 6 games, and then I totally fell apart. But I trust that you, can you still hear me? I don't know.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. There you go. You got a big water jug. I just trust that, you know, you're going to control your emotions a little bit better. He seems to be in really good form. So that's a cool thing to see.
Great.
Great. And also this event has had a ton of upsets, like Trent, I think beating Alina was a big upset. You had a amazing win versus Bibisara. I have to apologize to you. I said that she was going to win, but I mean, did you feel like you played like lights out, or you felt like it was a back and forth match?
You don't have to apologize at all. I also thought she was going to win, but you know, I told my wife, I was like, I just have a feeling that I'm going to play well tomorrow. I said, she's definitely the favorite. Like, she's a World Blitz champion. And either way, if I beat her, this is the last time I will ever beat her. We all know that. If I win, it's now, right? Because she's just like, she's about to get so much better than you know, but I had a feeling I was going to play well. And then I think I shared, I think you saw, I did a little bit of prep with my boys, Hess and Fabi, really just psychological prep. I made the decision that I wasn't going to play E4, that I was going to play the G3 King's Indian. And I think it really helped. I don't know why. It made me feel like good.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
I was checking in on the scores of that match as it was going on, and I was like, oh, wow, Danny's doing well. Oh, wow, Danny's doing well. Oh, wow, Danny won. Oh, there you go.
No, I don't know how it's going to go today. I mean, I know I made the joke yesterday that I was going to be a double-digit deficit underdog, but I don't know that that's far from the truth. Let's be honest. Let's see. Eric
is going to lose by double digits?
He's so much better than me in time scrambles. I have no idea what to do against his openings. I'm a blundering machine, and all he does is swindle his way out of bad positions. Like he
really does, bro. It's so insane.
Tricky.
He plays into like minus 0.6 positions constantly and just outplayed me last time. I was like, I rewatched that match, and I'm sitting there like, even now, watching the match on YouTube and watching the commentary, I'm like, I don't think I could have done anything differently. He just consistently gave me slightly better positions and then just defended and beat me nonstop.
This pep talk is not working, Levy. It's not working.
Well, Danny, Danny, here's the thing. I'm trash. You're coming off beating a gold and silver medalist. You understand? The only way I can beat 2400s right now is when there's no increment. You should have seen my Title Tuesday performance yesterday. I had to quit early to go work out. I felt terrible. So we're in different modes right now. You understand? You're in dad mode. You know, you're the daddest man on the planet.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to it. Now I will say this: don't get like low on time against him.
Yeah,
that's the only way you're going to lose a lot of games in a row. It's like because you're going to tilt, and so.
I do feel that. I feel so. Thank you for that. That helps. So, okay, psychological advice. Play fast, right? You know, in general, I do agree with you. I need increment to live right now. I'm the opposite. If I don't have increment, it's not a game. It's not a match. So avoid time pressure. Know that the increment is waiting though if I get a winning position. Any other advice? Like, he's super tricky, but you beat him last year. Like, what was the mindset when you beat him?
You know, mindset was I'm down 3 in bullet, and then I just won a few games. There was a moment this year I won a bullet game and I got it down to 3, and I was like, here we go again. And then the very next game, I was so nervous, I misplayed my opening. So,
oh wow,
like I said that on the broadcast. I was playing the Bishop G5 Queen's Gambit declined, and I played the Bishop F4 Queen's Gambit declined for no reason. I was just so nervous that I just misplayed my opening. So I don't think this is gonna happen to you. I feel like you've been through more things in life. You know what I mean? You're like a dad, you know, you a little older than me, you had more life experience. I was like, oh my God, I'm so scared. And then I just played horribly.
I appreciate the compliments. I appreciate the pep talk. I will say I also get super nervous in these matches, which is one of the reasons I think it's healthy. Reminds me as a commentator that this bleep ain't easy, right? It doesn't matter what's at stake when you're a chess player. Like, it's just, you know. But, okay. I don't know if this helped or not, but I do love you for doing this. By the way, you're looking good. You're talking about working out. You can flex for the audience. I won't flex either. I just want to see you.
Don't flex. All right, we'll just hide that side. You know, I've been
Look
grinding a little bit
on that.
What'd you say?
Look at the definition on that.
I know. It's like a dictionary. It's like it's pretty good.
Hey guys, I'm sorry to cut you off, but we got to get set up for the game, for the match. Levy,
all right.
Thanks for joining us.
This was your idea, Simon. Leave us alone then.
I don't.
Wow. Well, that is a very tough act to follow, but you could see Danny receiving very high-level advice from the one and only Levy Rozman. Can't wait to jump into what our thoughts are on that little feedback session, that little pep talk session. But before we jump in and before we start the games, we have for you a quick I'm Not a GM hype video. Let's watch.
Not everyone's a grandmaster. But that doesn't mean these stars aren't some of the greatest creators and people in chess.
Oh!
The poor eval bar.
That was one of the most exhilarating games I've been a part of.
Presenting the best of the best.
Oh, the rook!
That aren't the best.
Oh.
Danny!
The I'm Not a GM Speed Chess Championship 2022.
Oh no! We've seen the first Botez Gambit What a way to start off.
Never would not be proud, Alex.
Watch your favorite creators scramble,
And now Levy's up. It's me! It's me! Rook F1's me! Oh my goodness!
blunder,
Oh, Queen F7 mate! Queen F7 mate!
and play some brilliancies.
Wait, it's stalemate! What a find! What a find by Lars! That was amazing!
Watch live on chess.com/TV.
Okay, first of all, Jeffrey, I haven't let you say anything yet. I've been persistently interrupting you. We've been interrupted multiple times. I think the coast is clear. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. No worries.
All right, so we got a couple of orders of business before we actually get to the game. Let's start by reviewing the bracket and see who's in the semifinals and what their journey was. Today, we have Danny Rensch facing off against Eric Rosen. On the left side of your bracket, you have Lawrence Trent, who is going to be facing someone who we do not know yet. Jeffrey, Danny's run to the semifinals, I don't think anybody's expected.
Yeah, I was going to say the same exact thing. And it seems like not even Danny himself expected it. So as Levy also mentioned, there have been many, many upsets, and we'll see if, I think we all agree that we'll see if Danny can produce yet another upset.
And he's trying to put himself in the best possible position. Yesterday, he had a match against Bibisara Asobaeva. Only 2 out of the remaining perfect 8 brackets had predicted a Danny Rensch victory. He led throughout the match, and I don't think anybody could have imagined his performance in the bullet. That was incredible. And Jeffrey, the most important thing, the most encouraging thing for Danny fans, his time management throughout the match was excellent. I was expecting him to get into time pressure, to flag. He was doing no such thing.
Yeah, me too. I think he actually really controlled that match. I mean, coming in as the underdog, right away, I feel like he was the one who kind of set the tempo and showed Bibisara that, you know, he was ready to rumble. And I think, did he lead it wire to wire?
I think he might have, because he definitely, I think he won the first 2 games. I actually think he did.
Yeah.
It might have been tied briefly in the middle there.
So there was a lot to take in at the beginning with Levy talking. My first question, though, was, did Eric have access to that? Was he listening?
Was he listening to the Danny Levy session?
Yes.
Well, I don't think anything would have stopped him from tuning into our stream. So I don't know if Danny anticipated that in his infinite wisdom.
Yeah, I mean,
who knows?
I was wondering if, like, because Danny, he seemed very, you know, kind of set, like, made Eric maybe try and make him feel like he was a huge favorite or something, and that he was just gonna back away. So I was wondering if that was some sort of psychology from Danny.
That's part of his strategy. But speaking of strategy, let's take a look at our insights real fast. Experience level very high, average accuracy is the same. And interestingly, Eric loses more games by flag than Danny. What do you make of that?
Yeah, certainly very surprising. But I think we saw from Eric's last match that he's made a tremendous improvement, specifically in his bullet games and his kind of handling those time scrambles. So yeah, we'll see. That could be a very, very big factor in this match.
As is his blitz rating. I mean, speaking of improvement, 2720 as we look at our Smarter Chess stats brought to you by chessgoals.com, an impressive overall IMSCC record. And Smarter Chess is predicting a win for Danny in the 5+1, followed by a very convincing victory in the subsequent 2 segments. But I agree with the idea that for Danny to have a serious shot in the match, and I said this yesterday, I think he needs to be leading after the 5+1 segment. Let's be real. His biggest chance lies in the highest time control segment.
Yeah, I'm definitely inclined to agree with you. And this is normally my favorite part of the program, which is to kind of ridicule Smarter Chess, their predictions. But I have to say, I'm more or less on the same page here. I would also put Eric, I would put him as a slight favorite. I think the 3-point handicap makes a lot of sense to me. Maybe I would have gone with 4 or 5, but yeah, I'm just super excited, and we're gonna get underway very soon.
I'm excited as well. I think we're going to have stalemate tricks. We're going to have crazy time scrambles. And we're going to have everything you could possibly ask for in a match. So seatbelts fastened. It is 3 o'clock Eastern. That means we are ready to begin. And the games should begin any second. One area in which I'm slightly concerned on Danny's behalf is opening preparation. Jeffrey, I think it's safe to say that Eric is going to come all guns blazing, especially with the white pieces.
Well, I mean, as Eric, I would be somewhat afraid as well. Danny mentioned that he got help from certain, maybe you've heard of him, Fabiano Caruana. If he asked him again, as Eric, I would be, the first to kind of deviate quickly from my normal stuff.
Yeah, I've heard that he's occasionally produced some decent opening preparation in the past. We'll see. I think the opening is a big X factor, and the first couple of games are definitely going to set the tone in the match. We are ready to begin the games. They're going to start any second here. Not sure who's going to have the white pieces in game one, but we're about to find out. All right. And waiting for the final checks to be made. And there we go. The games have begun with Eric Rosen 1e4 as he has the white pieces. We've got 75 minutes of 5+1 starting now.
I think you might be more familiar with the player's repertoire, like compared to other things. I don't know them quite as well. So you just let me know if someone's throwing in a surprise.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm surprised by 1e4 because Eric plays both e4 and d4. He's a noted London expert, but I think he understood that that's what Danny is probably anticipating. So Eric surprising me a little bit with 1e4 and playing an anti-Sicilian. I'm not enthralled with the way that Danny is handling this in the early going.
Yeah, I'm getting the same impression. I remember in these close Sicilians, whenever you take on c6 and you can push f4 immediately, it's always favorable for white. So already Danny is tempting this e5 as they're highlighting, and all of a sudden there could be some serious weaknesses.
Yeah, I've fallen for this many times from the black side. The problem after e5, d5 is that your c5 pawn is going to be incredibly weak, and it can be very easily attacked in several different ways. You could also consider the move d4 here. In the time the black is developing his bishop, white can try to strike in the center. But Eric proceeding along more traditional lines with queen e1.
Yeah, queen e1 always a very useful move in these types of Grand Prix attacks. And now I think we might see e5, knight a4 because black no longer has an option of playing queen a5. Mm-hmm. And suddenly it's very difficult to even defend the c5 pawn.
Yeah, that's a great point. e5, d5, knight a4. You might have to play c4, and then your position is entirely in ruins. Eric, though, hesitating a little bit. He plays rook b1. My guess is that he wants b3, bishop b2, and eventually wants to take this bishop out of commission. I mean, obviously, that's another way to keep a big advantage.
Yeah, I think black's position is so, just positionally unsound that even if you play normal moves, you're always going to have to worry about the e5 break and also that bishop on c8 not exactly shining.
Not shining at all. And black can't really play e5. White will just take, and then black will be left with indefensible weaknesses. Danny is essentially provoking e5, and Eric is holding back for whatever reason.
Yeah,
I would play e5 in a heartbeat.
No, I wouldn't have been able to resist either.
E5 looks amazing, and then bishop a3, knight a4. You're going to lose c5, no question about it.
Yeah, Danny. Okay, he's as long as Eric's not pushing e5, he's probably happy. But I'm not sure what he can do in the meantime.
Yeah, it's kind of an unstable piece. I mean, I'm considering e5 from the black side on every move. The problem is just that it doesn't work. White takes and then takes, and the medicine is essentially worse than the disease.
Yeah, very true. I mean, it's hard to come up with anything as black.
Yeah, these pawns on e4 and f4 totally dominating over the whole position. Queen g3 by Eric. I would have still played e5. I think he wants to put the rook on e1, and maybe then finally he'll be satisfied enough with his position to play e5.
Yeah, I am also expecting to see that shortly. I mean, he's more or less improved all of his pieces.
Yeah, I just don't understand what the hesitation is all about. e5, d5, knight a4, very straightforward. And your position is just completely winning. He still doesn't play it. He plays knight a4 first.
Yeah, starts with knight a4. I mean, obviously, white's position is still very good.
Whoa.
C4, interesting.
An interesting attempt to break free.
I kind of like it from Danny. So the idea is, I mean, if you take with either pawn, probably he wants to go c5 and finally activate that bishop. Then, okay, I kind of buy what Danny's selling there.
Yeah, he was going to lose that pawn anyway, and at least this way he activates his light-scored bishop. The eval bar seems to believe that the game is essentially over. Okay, but that allows f takes e4, and then maybe Danny can start pushing his pawns in the center. That wasn't the way.
I like c5 a lot. Suddenly, I mean, all of a sudden, black's pieces have squares. Knight f5, bishop c6.
And Eric overcooked it. And now all of a sudden, Danny is getting really, really active. Uh-oh.
Oh, and you
takes
can't
f3, walks into a fork.
And taking with the pawn, I mean, you might still be able to go knight d4 and at least restore material.
Yeah, you can go after that pawn on c2. Gosh, looking at this position, you would never think that it came from the position that we just had like 5 moves ago.
No, definitely not. I mean, that c4, sure, a really good rack tool decision by Danny.
Yeah, it appears that Eric should have either taken on c4 with a b pawn or maybe ignored it entirely and still played e5. And now Danny hunting for the pawn on c2, and the knight has an easy passage back to d4, so it obviously cannot get trapped.
Yeah, this position has totally turned.
Knight b5, trying to discourage knight d4 and going after the d6 pawn.
So d5 looks like a very natural response.
Indeed. You could also defend the pawn with rook d8, but that I like a little bit less. That's a little bit too slow, perhaps. I don't know, because of maybe bishop c3.
Yeah, d5, I think you might actually have to go rook e2, which is not necessarily ideal.
Yeah, it hurts white that you can't take because you dropped the knight.
Right. But, I mean, I see, okay, Danny does go for d5.
And now Eric has to move his rook. And the only square available is e2, as you pointed out.
And then I would consider going knight d4, c d4, getting a past d pawn, and not sure how good that is for black.
It's definitely amazing compared to what he had. I'm also considering a6. He does go knight d4. So we're going to have a trade of knights. My guess is that Danny is yeah, he takes with the bishop.
Okay, so now the question for me is how soft will be like these, I mean, black's queenside and pawns in general on e6, g6, and h6.
Yeah, that's my worry. When you trade the dark squared bishops, your pawns, the weakness of the pawns is greatly accentuated. I feel like Danny's lost a lot of his advantage here, and Eric can just recapture. But then Danny maybe wants to establish the bishop on d4 and play like rook b d8.
Yeah, I like rook b d8 a lot here, trading on your own conditions. And now, I mean, f4 is going to drop off sooner or later.
Yeah, so we have a standoff here. White could play rook fe1, preparing for the trade of bishops and aiming for the e6 pawn. A draw is not unlikely here. You could get some sort of mass liquidation. Black picks up the f pawns, white picks up the e and g pawn. In the event of a queen trade, you're going to get quick liquidation, probably a draw.
Here, as Danny, I think he's trying to look for a good move, maybe to protect e6. But I don't see a great way, because rook f8, I mean, you move the rook off the f file, so it's not, I mean, you'd want more than that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that dangerous. I mean, queen h4, maybe rook back to g1. White's position is rather compact there.
So as you said, we might see, okay, he tries rook d6, but I wasn't, f5, a huge threat set up by
Eric. Definitely going for that trick. Now, Danny would prevent it by doubling rooks because that would protect the d6 rook. But as we already discussed, he doesn't necessarily want to move the rook away from f8.
Queen f5, maybe another way, but that could run into bishop d4 and rook e5.
He's down to a minute on the clock here. And we know how good Eric is at exploiting time pressure. He's so full of these tricks. You do not want to drop down below 30 seconds against him.
Yeah, I have to say, this is a very annoying move by Eric. And Danny deals with it on account of queen f6. So after f5, he has ef5, uncovering the queen.
Queen defends the rook. You could still play f5 and bishop takes h6, and storm clouds start to gather around black's king. Rook e8 check. I'm starting to get really concerned on Danny's behalf, and that was a huge mistake.
Yeah, he needed to take on e3 first.
Oh, bishop g5.
Now he's starting to allow some tactics.
Bishop g5 wins the exchange and wins the game. Wow, that was a really quick turnaround. That took like 3 seconds.
Yeah, I was going to say queen g3 seemed like a very annoying move played by Eric, and now he should be wrapping this up.
Rook e7 resigns.
So we did see a few swings, but Eric getting the last laugh in this game.
Yeah, I mean, he was totally dominating out of the opening. He didn't play e5 for too long, letting Danny back in the game, but you could sense the tables turning again after Eric played queen g3. That was definitely the turning point, and Danny unable to find a satisfactory response. Eric's going to take game one, barring a miracle. Rook e8 check. Good technique.
Yeah, that seals it.
And Danny's going to resign here. So not all discouraging, right, for Danny? I mean, he got out of a really bad position, and it's not like he made any serious blunders. It was just sort of Eric finding a very, very nice tactical trick at the end.
Yeah, I think so. I believe right after queen g3, Danny started burning his time, and then I feel like he felt pressured to respond on the next move quickly, and he played too fast, ultimately blundering ef, and that's when things started getting out of control. So yeah, as you pointed out at the beginning, the time management is going to be absolutely vital for Danny.
Oh, without question. And you asked me about opening surprises. I've never seen Eric play an accelerated dragon. I don't even know what his main opening is with black against e4. I mean, other than the Stafford Gambit, which I know he's pioneered. But with full due respect to the Stafford, I don't know if playing it against Danny would be the best idea.
Yeah, I don't know Eric's repertoire either, but this looks very, very standard for an accelerated dragon. Black's going to try to get some sort of play going on the queen side, but Danny handling it very well so far.
Yeah, the accelerated is not a bad blitz opening if you know all of the ideas, because you can play quite quickly, and e6 is a typical move. I think the line goes rook fd1, bishop e5, and then one of the problems for white is that you're really tempted to make this move f4, but you got to be very careful about not weakening the e4 pawn. And this is inadvisable.
That's right. And
it's not easy to get to the d pawn. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we do see this on the board. I seem to recall the idea for white being like rook fc1, rook c2, a3, and b4 to kick that knight off of c5. Mm-hmm. But Danny's going to go for a slightly different approach, targeting d6.
The eval bar hated that move, and I wonder why the evaluation is so strongly in black's favor now. Does it have anything to do with queen h4 at some point? But then why does g3? Oh, and then maybe bishop takes g3.
At the very least. Oh, well, no, but I'm not sure, actually. Like, you go king f1 there.
Yeah, does black really have more than a draw in that position?
I'm not even sure you have a draw, unless I guess your idea is to follow up with f5 and just blast open everything.
Or even knight takes c4. I was thinking queen h4, g3, and you could tell that Eric is calculating it. Let me make the moves on the board. We can pull up the analysis board here. Trade, king f1, and now knight takes e4.
I thought I could take it.
Take it.
Because I thought I could take it.
Oh. Apparently that's wrong, and you have to throw in a check first. Or no. What's the move here? Oh, F5.
It's F5 now.
F5 opening up the F file.
And maybe Danny saw this, so he played h3 instead.
He calculated it in a couple seconds. Oh my god, but now, Jeffrey, queen g3, isn't this just devastating?
Yeah, because as you said, you can never play f4, so that means the queen is going to make its way to h2. Okay, that's not... Yeah, but it's not quite made there.
It's not over. Yeah. No, I mean, king f1 and bishop g1 and stuff. So despite the assessment of the eval bar, it's not that clear cut. Maybe you go back to d4.
Oh, wait, but remember this idea that we just looked at? Like, after king f1, maybe you can still go knight e4 and f5?
Oh, that's right. So for instance, I don't know, let's make a random move. Queen h2 check, king f1, knight e4, fe4, f5. And the moment the f file opens, the game is over. And you can't even take on f5. I mean, no, this is crushing.
Yeah. So how do you? So were you considering like knight d4? Does that should help bring a piece back close to your king?
Knight d4 would take the sting potentially out of f5, but I'm not sure that it works. Knight d4, queen h2, I do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you play ef5, I throw in. Oh no, I just take on g2, so you can't do that.
Yeah, you're right. This doesn't actually help matter. So is there any way to defend?
I don't believe so. I think this is over. Now, provided that Eric sees the idea of sacking on e4 and opening up the f file.
Yeah, he might go f5 right away, which is a more conservative way, and it's still definitely a big attack, but not as lethal.
Yeah, I mean, they were in theory just 2 moves ago. And knight b5, Danny understandably underestimating this lightning fast attack on the king.
So what if you try knight c3 defending on e4?
Okay, knight c3, then knight takes e4, you can play knight takes e4.
Mm-hmm.
And
at
I
least
agree.
Yeah.
In that case, if I have to also give up the light squared bishop, then maybe f5 is not quite as effective. I still think it's very strong, though.
Right, I'm hoping that there I can take on f5 and go bishop f3. But still, I mean, well, at least I think it's not as clear cut.
Yeah, I double queen e2 and maybe bishop g1. I agree, it's not totally clear.
Wait, I just realized we're ignoring a very important move, which is knight takes d6.
Uh-huh.
I assume there might be something wrong. What do you think, though?
What exactly does black do here is the question? Because the knight on c5 is hanging. That really hurts. Yeah, I think this would have been a very interesting defense, but Danny goes bishop d4. So he allows the idea in its pure form.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. So queen h2, king f4, knight e4, fe, f5.
Mm-hmm.
That looks pretty crushing.
Looks lethal. And he starts correctly. So the key for Eric is to recognize the role that this rook could be playing in the attack. It's not easy to understand that you can actually open the f-file in this position because they're both pawns on that f-file.
I think another tempting move for many people would be like bishop g3, but it's not actually so devastating because white can play like bishop g1, queen h1. And then black can't really create any huge threats. Like bishop h2 is always met by, either king f2 or queen e3. So this would actually not be too dangerous.
Yeah, black's pieces kind of get stranded there. Eric doing neither and playing bishop f4. Now bishop g1 might be even stronger. Yes. Oh, and it forces the queen out of h2. It smokes the queen out.
Yeah, but Danny
we missed it.
Wait, is there queen queen h1 he has king f2 now?
But isn't there like bishop takes e4?
Oh, bishop takes e4 first. But wait,
does that fe4 I just wanted to play knight takes e4 and involve the knight in the attack.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay, so after bishop e4, I still think it's not so clear. Like I go maybe fe4, knight e4, bishop g1. What's going on?
Knight g3, I have perpetual, but probably not more than I might not even have perpetual. The king goes up to f3. And he does play bishop takes e4. I think he's going for this line.
Uh-huh.
Oh, this is a new lease on life for Danny.
Danny, under a minute, though. He's going to need time to sort this out.
It might be the case that knight takes e4 was the move. I don't know what the +7 move was. I'm very worried about his clock. This is going to take Danny a very long time to figure out.
Yeah, because first of all, you have to start with fe, because yes, he does it.
Okay, now bishop g1 is the key move. And
I think this is also okay, though. Bishop f3.
Oh, and simply knight g3 check, king f2. And you would want to put a bishop on g3 there, but the knight's in the way.
Right. Eric would probably try knight f5, but then I think white can maybe run away even with king e2.
It's amazing that the king is as safe as it is here. I mean, all these pieces surrounding it, and yet they can't really coordinate effectively enough. Danny's better.
Yeah, absolutely. And Eric, he might also consider a move like f5. No, he does go for the check.
Yeah, he's going to play knight
Nine.
f5. Okay, now don't miss
Yeah.
bishop g3.
Danny, I mean, certainly not out of the woods just yet. He needs to decide where to run, and I think this was the way.
He's running toward the center. That's the safest part of the board. The attack is over.
And the issue for Eric is he can't actually open any of these D or E files for the rooks.
Right, because of these pawns. And that's why white's better. Remember that white is up a piece. Eric sacked a bishop on e4, so people confused at the eval bar. The king is now safer than it's ever been. The queen is stranded, and black has no way to open files once the king reaches d3.
Yeah, right now Eric needs to find a way to keep queens on the board. I think you need to go like maybe knight d4 and bishop h6 just so the queen can evacuate itself. You don't want to let Danny trade.
Yeah, or even worse, trap the queen somehow. A queen trade is just game over because black's also saddled with a bunch of weak pawns. This knight on b5 is really strong. So any endgame, even with 2 pawns for the piece, is going to be totally lost. And now Eric is low on time.
But I think he's going to
find.
Yeah, he's going to find a way to keep the queens on.
Okay,
but Danny, you got to just
trying to decide.
Right, you had to be more decisive there. E5 is okay.
Whoa.
He wants to maybe blast with E4.
And this is obviously a trick. Don't take on d6. 14 seconds for Danny. I think he's going to flag Jeffrey. I don't think he's going to make it.
Yeah, because E4, I don't actually know what he should have played there.
Maybe rook d1 so that he has king f3. Wait, king f3 now?
Hold on a second. What is going on here?
f5, there's a check on d5, which extricates the queen.
Yeah. Oh, but Eric just doubles?
Knight takes d6? Knight takes d6?
He finds it. Maybe you can take on e4 here.
And then queen takes g2. Oh my god. Rook takes c4 is very strong because d2 is protected.
But even this, I mean, it's still... You can't really... Oh, queen h1 is a great find.
He found a way to trade queens, but rook takes d6, stealing the game. Bishop
but now
d5.
bishop d5.
It's over.
He's up in exchange. Eric is still going to fight.
Eric is going to fight to the death here with rook e2, the biggest threat. Didn't like king d3, but this is still winning.
Yeah, I mean, once you put those rooks on the 7th, that should...
You just got to find a way to set your pawns in motion. That's it. c6, c7. It's over.
Great defense by Danny. Queen h1, clutch find.
I thought it was over. He had 30 seconds. He was dead in the water. His king was getting checkmated 7 ways to Sunday. That was very impressive from Danny. And he ties the match at 1 apiece. What a game.
Superb. And yeah, Eric definitely missed his chances. Couldn't see... In his defense, though, I mean, the kind of the knockout blows were always, they certainly were anything but obvious, and Danny does level the match.
No, it was really, really hard. And Eric resorting back to what makes him comfortable playing a London, sadly.
But I don't know what is like, when you play these matches, what is kind of your opening approach? Because if I were Eric, I'm going right back to that Sicilian.
Oh, you mean as with the black pieces?
I mean, as Eric, like he had an amazing position in that first game.
The knight c3 bishop b5. Yeah, you play what works. I feel like you repeat the line until your opponent figures out what to do. Exactly. Oh my god, he just trapped the rook in the corner.
Never mind. I mean, yeah, this one.
Okay, cd and bishop g4 though.
Right. I mean, Danny, he's going to be down 2 pawns though.
What a ridiculous position after queen f3. But he's got some serious development here, and as long as white isn't castled, I'm pretty worried on Eric's behalf.
Yeah, I think you can even go, let's say queen c6, and after ed6, you don't even take on d6. Just go knight gf3 and like you said, get castled.
Yeah, very prudent approach, and it's followed by Eric, and he's also threatening to capture a6 at some point, which he will once he castles. No, this is insufficient comp.
Yeah, if you can somehow
knight d5.
Yeah, rook c queen 6 knight d5, trying to sack somewhere.
Yeah, I'm trying to stir up some sort of counterplay knight c3, but it's all incredibly speculative.
But you might as well try, because if not, it's just pretty clean 2 pawns, I think.
Yeah. Knight f3 and castles is coming, and Danny tries something along those lines. He plays knight h5. Of course, he's trying to take the bishop. Eric's not going to allow that. Oh, and if you play DE and bishop d6, then black has queen e6, skewering the bishop, or pinning the bishop, rather.
Yeah, I think as Eric here, you don't want to get too adventurous. The key is, yeah, try and not, allow some kind of weird stuff. And maybe bishop g5, even just if Danny wants to, trade queens, it's completely fine.
Yeah, that's a very good technique when you're up 2 pawns, sacrificing one of them in order to achieve favorable aims, such as a queen trade.
I honestly kind of like this move by Danny, because it does give Eric something to think about. Should he, ignore the threat on the bishop? Should he go for another pawn?
Yeah, but I love your move, bishop g5, because it forces black to either play a highly undesirable move such as f6, which I think is what Danny has to do, or to trade queens and enter a thankless pawn down endgame where the counterplay against white's king is non-existent.
Yeah, my only worry about that line bishop g5, queen d6, and that endgame is black might have a rook coming to b8, and I don't know, maybe. Okay, I guess we're gonna see.
Maybe it's not as bad as it looks, because another thing I think you're implying is that if the knight goes to b3 in order to plug the b file, black can use those quote-unquote ruined pawns as a battering ram and as a decoy.
Exactly. So now, okay, Eric, I guess he has a couple of ways he can handle this. I quite like knight e2, so that you defend on c3 and you can meet rook b8 with maybe something like b3. It's very, very solid.
Castling queenside would be too brazen. It would also blunder a2.
Mm-hmm.
I think he can castle, right? He hasn't moved his king, so it is a possibility. Okay, you're absolutely on the money. I mean, it's very hard to defend this b pawn, and that was not immediately apparent when they went into the endgame.
Right, I
should play b3.
I do like b3 though, because yeah, he does play it.
Rook c8, rook c1.
Now, what else can Danny try? Can he go after the bishop? The problem is h6. There's even bishop e7, so you might have to deal with that threat.
Yeah, they're going to throw in rook c8, rook c1. What about a5?
a5, a4, certainly a very logical plan.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame that you invested so much in queenside counterplay, and now the factories aren't billowing steam, so you might as well put them to use.
All right, he does kick the bishop first.
But maybe still bishop e7 to buy yourself a tempo.
Yeah, but you do always worry about getting it stuck in no man's land.
Oh, yeah, that's true. f6, actually. But then black's knight is trapped.
Okay, so I guess, Danny, I would go a move like rook c6. Keep that bishop locked in for the moment. Yeah, or rook b6. And I mean, even if there isn't a concrete way to trap the bishop, you certainly have to worry about it.
The funny thing is rook c7 walks into bishop d8, so...
Wait a second, he's
takes in rook e8! Oh, he forgot that after bishop takes d4, he has to recapture with the e-pawn.
Or
this
he
is
forgot.
A huge chance for Danny. This is a piece.
I mean, the knight on f4 also... f4 square would also be available for the knight.
Oh my god, and Eric...
Very careless.
The fact that he paused is a clear sign that he just in his mind thought he could play c takes d4. Forgot that the rook on c1 was undefended. You haven't castled yet, Eric.
There was no rush for that. But why knight f4?
Why did he go knight f4? Why not rook e8? And if you move the bishop, there will be hell to pay on the e file.
So many tempting, yeah.
Just takes and take a2 for goodness sake, and go rook b2 and win.
Okay, but now after knight f4, Eric has a lifeline, but can he use it?
The funny thing is that a fork is threatened, and if you castle, you walk into another fork.
And also king d1, knight d3, forks galore.
Forks the other one. Knight f2, knight h1. How do you defend? Do you have to go king f1?
I guess so.
And then black has a repetition if he wants a knight d3, rook c2, knight b4.
Wait, no, but actually, it's probably more than a repetition.
Oh, because knight takes a2. Oh my god.
So yeah, but besides king f1, I think you have to allow that. Otherwise, or maybe you can sack an exchange somehow.
Put on your Petrosian hat and play a move like, I don't know, maybe castle intentionally allowing knight e2.
Right, yeah, he does do it.
No, but it's not going to be sufficient comp. If white can consolidate and extricate this bishop, then, I can start getting behind Eric's position.
And I would go right back to your idea with a5. Although, as I'm saying that, there is knight e4 maybe. Could be annoying.
Oh. Not sure.
So maybe start with f5.
Start with f5.
All right, he goes rook e8. But I don't actually like letting that bishop sit on f6.
Bishop d5, c4, and then maybe d5.
Yeah, all of a sudden, I mean, Danny's misplayed this quite a bit, allowing d5.
d5, rook e2, bishop c3, maybe?
And that rook on b6 is in trouble.
Yeah, it is in trouble. All of a sudden, Eric is much better.
He's got to try to find a way and sort of untangle his pieces. Maybe start with bishop c8, bishop f5.
Okay. King g3, king f3 is also an idea.
Still very sharp, Eric, down to 25 seconds.
Bishop f5 and going bishop c2. Just give me a second, Jeffrey. I got to see who.
Sure,
who
yeah.
that is. I'll be back in a second.
All right. So I think Danny, he should reshuffle this rook on b6, which is out of the game. He does just that with rook b8. Now g4, where does that bishop go? I think you throw in bishop c2 and then go to d3. You want to definitely stay on this diagonal. But he goes bishop d7. I was slightly worried. All right, bishop d4 first by Eric. I think f3 and knight e4 could, definitely looks dangerous. a7 is threatened for the moment, but I don't think Danny wants to tie himself down. Maybe try and get some counterplay and something like f5 or h5. Can also double rooks. And oh, wait a second. There's also bishop e3, which is now on the board. Maybe this rook is just trapped. h5. Danny going to try to get something going before he has to give up the exchange. And Eric, he doesn't have a great way to win the rook. So he does take probably king f1. Oh, wait, but bishop h3.
Okay. Wait a minute.
Maybe...
Where's white's king side?
Yeah, Danny found a way.
Side?
But I think it's still very unclear. Maybe Eric's going to try c5 and d6 at some point.
Oh, he's down to 2 seconds, though.
Yeah, he's got no time. Rook e3.
Whoa! F takes e3, rook d2. And Danny's going to win.
Eric's still going to try to push.
What about bishop f5 and then control the c8 square?
Certainly get. Oh, wait, no. Bishop f5, c6, rook d5, there's e4. So you have to be careful.
Danny,
oh, this is a clinical
takes, c7 and bishop f5, stopping the pawn, and then you move your king up. Just don't procrastinate.
I think Danny's got in the bank. Yeah.
Yeah, bishop f5, e4, bishop c8.
He's got it.
Okay, it's easy. King f6. And you have this g-pawn for good. Even without the g-pawn, it's probably winning.
And I think that, yeah, at the very end there, Eric just got a little bit too long time because he was probably close to winning at the end, but not enough time to figure things out.
King e4, king d5, and Eric is going to play till mate, as is his custom. Okay, no, he's going to resign. Oh, he's going to make a knight. At least he can tell his friends he underpromoted.
Sometimes that will work. Like, as a pre-move catch because you're not checking, but I mean, not in this exact scenario.
Yep. And Danny, after losing the first game, goes up 2-1. A very nice game and a frustrating one for Eric, who jumped out to a 2-pawn lead after queen f3. And even in the endgame, couldn't stop Danny's initiative. And this, I'm told in the chat, is Eric's main over-the-board tournament weapon, the Taimanov.
Got it. Yeah. And I think Danny still blitzing, so I assume he also has some ideas here.
Bishop d4, bishop e7.
All right, so I think we're going to switch back to some sort of shenanigan sort of English attack. Both sides are going to launch very shortly.
d6. The bishop on d4 is quite misplaced. Well, is it misplaced? I mean, the knight could go back to c6. Generally,
Yeah.
of course, the knight is heading for c4 in these types of positions.
By the
So
way,
maybe
I
a move
don't.
like rook b8.
Yeah, that certainly makes sense. I don't actually like starting with h4 though, because I know in these positions when black goes h5, it's actually very hard to start an attack.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, you can't even play g4 right now because the f3 pawn is hanging. And even if you do, there's so many moving parts that you have to take care of for you to actually be able to push your pawn up to g5.
Yeah, so
No, I
Danny
like Eric's position.
He should defend f3, get g4, g5 going. Maybe move like queen f2.
f4 by
F4.
Eric, by Danny rather. So the combination of the moves f4 and h4 is generally frowned upon because the g4 square is weakened, but I get why he's doing it. I get why
it's
he's doing it.
basically, I guess, I mean, the g4 square isn't really a huge deal. And now, okay, he's going to retreat to c1. Maybe he wants to go e5.
E5, bishop e3, and eventually you would think he'd put a rook on b8.
Wait, but now Danny can go e5 himself.
Oh, and put this bishop on d4 to good use. Great point. That was an oversight by Eric.
And actually, you might just win material because where do you even go with the knight? You can't take on e5.
Yeah, you can't take because of bishop e5 skewering the queen to the rook.
Oh, I think
And if
you
you
need to
move the
throw
knight,
in,
white targets g7.
Yeah, you have to throw in queen b7 here.
E5, queen b7, threatening mate.
And then at least you have, knight e4 possibilities or just some extra options.
What's encouraging for Danny fans, though, and I think you'll co-sign this, is the fact that he's finding good moves in critical moments. He's not missing his chances right now.
That is true.
Queen b7 played, and Eric finding the only way to stay in the game, actually.
Right. And now as Eric, you can take on e5. Knight e4 still probably is too fishy after it takes an ed. So I would take on e5 first.
Yeah, and then what do you think white's going to recapture with?
That's a very tricky question. It's actually hard because opening the FL seems more natural to me, but I'm not actually thrilled after like knight d5.
Yeah, I mean, that e5 pawn is very misplaced. It's closing down the bishop. He takes with the bishop, so he forces the rook off of the b file, but now it moves on to the d file. And black's got all sorts of unpleasant moves that could come at the expense of white's awkward queenside pieces.
Right, so c4 is hanging for the moment. Maybe you take on b3 and castle.
I like it.
But then maybe we'll see g4 siding.
At last. About 12 moves after he intended to play it. What about...
Yeah.
No.
Oh, a5 also makes a lot of sense, getting his own attack going.
Yeah, I always feel that black's attack is more dangerous in these types of positions. a4, maybe it's high time for white to play g4. He plays
f5.
But I didn't think this was effective. I thought black could ignore him and just castle.
Right, you can wait, can he try and take a knight e4 and if the bishop moves f6?
Oh, you mean take on f6 straight away?
Yeah. No, but g4
Plays
also.
g4, so he's ready to play g5 and then f6, and he's going to roll black off the board in that case.
Yeah, this is sharpening in a hurry.
So maybe Eric should take on f5.
And then after g5?
Then think. First we party, we take the pawns. Yeah, G5 is a problem because White's going to take on H6 and have sorts H7 ideas if you play G6.
Right, exactly. Try and, chuck all the pawns up. Besides EF though. Yeah, go ahead.
But concretely, like EF G5 94,
Mhm.
GH G6, and where exactly is the kicker here? Because I want King H7, and H7 I'll grab it.
Yeah, you're always gonna block this H file. And we might see them go down this road.
I think we will, and he does take on F5, and Danny is almost certainly going to go G5.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to take on F5 and allow the bishop to kind of park itself on F5. So G5. Now, big choice for Eric. I thought knight G4 made more sense than knight E4 with the same idea, GH G6.
And if bishop takes G7?
Oh, that's why you put it on E4.
Small. I mean, I thought you intended like Rook FE8.
No. But now that you mention it, that does look very interesting. Like GH. Okay, let's see it.
So he does play knight G4.
I think bishop G7 should be correct here.
I would not be able to resist the temptation to take on G7 here.
But I mean,
even if
it's
bad.
It is still razor sharp because like your bishop on G7, I mean, it's nice, but it does block, some of your attacking prospects. So I might go rook E8, GH6, and A4.
Well, okay. Yeah, and the knight on G4 is a great defensive piece too. It's blocking the G file. It's supported by a pawn which is defended by the bishop. Turkey inside a, duck inside a bacon sandwich or whatever. Pawn is supporting the knight, which is defended by the bishop, which is defended by the rook. So it's very hard to get to the king. You're absolutely right.
So he does go GH first, and that should force G6. Because, I mean, knight H6, bishop G7 would be completely lights out.
That would be
Whoa,
massive.
GH.
Whoa, he took on H6. Totally fearless.
He's basically saying
brazen.
He certainly isn't. He's saying that the knight on G4 is enough of sheltering the king.
I don't know. And then the big bad wolf huffed and puffed and the entire structure came down. I mean, I don't know if this is straw or brick.
Yeah, we will find out soon enough. So as Danny though, what do you start with? Like, do you go, wait, could be knight D5, I'm just noticing.
But the tilting thing after knight D5 is that I think I have bishop C6. But then maybe then rook HG1.
Oh, getting razor sharp here.
Although black can even play H5 and support the knight with a second pawn if it's necessary. And he does play knight D5. And let's see where Eric puts his bishop. C6 or E6.
I guess you also could consider rook E8, and he does do that.
And he plays it. Now, the idea is that after knight takes E7, rook takes E7, the bishop is going to be pinned. So that's kind of out of the question for Danny to take on E7.
He might have ideas of setting up a battery. So maybe like you start with bishop B2, and then bring that queen, line the queen up.
Bishop B2. I think that's a good move regardless because it gets the bishop out of the line of fire of the rook.
Oh, after bishop B2, bishop A3 could be annoying. Because
forcing the trade of bishops.
Yeah, I don't want to trade. Maybe so that's why bishop A1.
And then bishop 02 or whatever that file is to the left of the A file.
He does start with rook G1, makes a lot of sense as well.
It's so funny, like bishop D4, bishop C5, bishop C3, bishop B4. But bishop A1, there's no file to the left of the A file.
Yeah, bishop Z2, not a move.
Right.
So bishop E6
is a move. Knight F4 maybe to pressure the bishop and threaten rook takes G4 by extension.
Or if you kill that dark for bishop though, black is gonna have to worry long term. So definitely a big decision here for Danny. He's dropping below 40 seconds.
So maybe slow roll it with like knight takes E7 and bishop B2 is what you're saying?
Right, and I feel like long term the position will be easier to play for white.
Agreed. And of course, black no longer really has any serious threats against white's king.
But he's got to decide.
24 seconds. Yeah, Eric's got a huge time advantage now. That's very worrisome. I think Danny might not realize that he can play slowly here. He might be in attack mode.
Yeah, knight of 6.
He totally is in attack mode.
Yeah, I saw that as an option, but it doesn't actually do much. So probably we'll see some mass trades.
A lot of activity, but not a lot of results for Danny. That bishop is misplaced. You would want the bishop on b2 so that you could build that battery. You don't want the bishop in front.
But it could be, I mean, he's very fast to set this up with bishop, like a4, bishop
Yeah.
b2.
Yep, and queen d4 is already a huge threat. Basically a decisive threat, which would necessitate a move like queen d5.
Yeah, maybe you should start with queen d5. Or he does go a4.
And there's that bishop b2 move.
Oh,
Oh!
watch. Okay, not right away. He took first.
Yeah,
All right,
queen
but
d4,
now-
there was bc.
Wait. Bishop b3, there might be queen d4 because bishop c2, king c1.
Oh my god, and there's no checks in that position. You hide under the bishop. And f6, there's queen takes f6. The fact that the knight has been... Oh, then rook e1 check
Rook
then.
e1.
Oh, but king
my
d2,
goodness.
it gets crazy. He goes queen b4, he stops queen
Didn't-
d4.
yeah, didn't want to allow that.
What about queen c1? Nah, it's superficial.
I think bishop b3. It shouldn't be in time now, right?
He just
Okay,
moves
but
his
he does-
king. Queen e3?
Very. All right, bishop. Okay, can Danny defend this though?
No,
He's now the one under fire.
he's under serious fire. Queen b2. He's just curled up into a ball on the king side. Don't move the knight.
Yeah, do not move. How does
What?
Eric increase though? Not so trivial.
King b1, and Danny is somehow contorting himself and defending in 6 seconds.
Gotta go.
Takes
Gotta go.
b3. Now knight e3. No, f7 hangs.
Oh, f7's hanging. Oh, and he
f7, he
blunders it.
blundered it. He doesn't take it.
Wait, and now he sees it.
Yeah, now it's too late. One
Oh, wait,
second.
1 second.
Move. Oh, he's threatening mate.
Goodness.
Danny moving quickly. Rook g8, and now it's Eric's turn to adopt the defensive posture.
Yeah, just
He's
keep,
oh. The queens
all right,
are
queen trade, but it's still unclear.
Of course, we have an end game. Somebody's gonna flag.
Oh my goodness, move.
Danny is a little bit too slow here. That's concerning me. And Eric has a knight.
I would, but I mean, with pawns on both sides, I
Move!
like having the bishop. But all right, just don't flag.
He's literally dropping to like 0.3 seconds on every move. And now Danny's better.
He is, and now
Oh,
great
great
pre-move.
pre-move. King b7.
All right, still not over. He's gonna win the rook, but
Eric's got the pawns, and he's
move.
got the knight, and he's got the forking ideas.
oh, he tried to set the fork. Danny did not fall for it.
No, he don't.
Oh no! Why?
Rook
Okay,
d1, though.
wait. Rook
No, but now
d1.
it's unclear. f4. I think
Oh,
Eric's
no,
gonna
this
draw
might be a
this.
draw. Wait a second. King F is no. I think it's still winning, or not.
but-
No, it's not.
Rook g8 check and king f3. Unbelievable. Oh,
Yeah,
why
king
did he play
g2.
king
King
g3?
g2. No,
Rook
he
g8 and king
blundered.
f2. King
He
f2.
did- Oh my
No,
goodness.
king
oh wait.
F2.
Oh,
Now it's a draw again because of king h1.
oh my goodness. And I think Danny realized it.
Just get. Okay, but don't go rook g8 and king f2. Okay, draw.
Yeah, let's go back to that because it is a very famous endgame
Instructive
in
idea, yeah.
Go. So
Okay, I'm gonna pull up the game.
so first of all, the draw for Eric after rook g8, king g2, rook g8, you need to go king f1 there. Or sorry, king g2, I mean, instead of h2. No, go back. Yeah. So right
King
here, yeah, you
G2.
have to go king g2 and rook g8, king f1.
And you're shouldering white's king, and you're ready to play h2, and white has no choice but to keep returning to the h file.
Right. But
So he played h2, and he allowed this win, king f2, right?
exactly.
And if you queen, then you get skewered, and you cannot defend the queen. And if you make a knight, which is typically the solution in these kinds of cases, this is winning for white due to king f3, king
Yes.
h2, and now you just make a move. Zugzwang, my friends, Zugzwang.
Draw, I think draw was a very fitting result. I mean, both players, that was such a nervous finish.
Fitting and fair. And it's just unbelievable how many times they switched roles. Like white was attacking, then black was attacking. And I thought Eric was going to mate him at one point. Somehow Danny Servov. And and then the roles reversed. Incredible.
Okay, so this game we're seeing very similar to game 2, but Danny did make a slight improvement throwing in knight h5 first.
Yeah, he's still down a pawn. I guess he likes these positions with the two bishops.
Well, this is certainly a better version. I'm not sure about this because after bishop g3, you take knight g5.
Oh,
Oh,
knight
no, he
G5,
blundered right
missed
into it.
Oh, and that's a huge pawn, and that threatens checkmate, and it forces f5.
Whoa, wait a second. I mean, it's not as bad as actually I initially thought.
I know, because f5, and somehow black is gonna take c5 and be all right almost.
Wait, did Danny see that?
No.
It's really not that bad.
Amazing.
I
Know
mean,
you're
you
in good
have-
form when your blunders aren't that bad.
Yes. And I mean, these bishops, they have very lovely diagonals.
Yeah, the dark square bishop comes to b7 for a blitz game. I think this is a very serviceable position.
But I think,
Okay.
not sure why Danny's hesitating to.
Yeah,
to
take the
recast.
damn pawn. Jesus. What is he thinking about?
Okay, so now as Eric, I think you definitely don't go long here with this open b file and potentially that a pawn storming forward. So king is safe
Oh, no,
on the
no.
king side.
Okay, let's hope Danny moves his queen. Doesn't go like a5 to attack the knight. He's
I
thinking
mean-
about where to put it.
Yeah,
Where would you
don't
put
think-
it?
I would probably just go back to c7. Oh,
Goes to
queen
b5. So he wants
stopping-
this a5, a4 idea, I think.
Yeah, and also he makes it tricky for Eric to decide. I mean, he wanted to cast short, maybe just knight fd4,
Mhm.
but that would open the diagonal. You would go queen d5 and bishop b7. So queen e2 instead.
Taking and going a5, a la the last game, is on the table.
Yeah, I don't know how much competition black would have in that resulting endgame, because without queens it is harder to attack.
You are making a true statement. And Danny says he's not against a queen trade, provided that it comes with a visit to the orthodontist.
Well said. Yeah, I quite like this by Danny because, again, I mean, if Eric wants to force his hand, he has to put it down on d4, but now maybe Danny goes, queen d5.
Okay, so another decision for Danny. He brings his queen back to b6. I think he should play a5 at the first available opportunity, because this bishop needs to find a home.
Wait a second. I'm worried. Can Eric launch an attack against Black King?
So are you thinking what I'm thinking? Long castle and then like rook h4, rook h1?
Well, I was thinking even more direct, like knight e6 here.
Oh, and
Because-
d5 knight takes f8 is check?
Right, yeah. So I mean, if I can trade knight for bishop, I think I'm very happy about it.
And Eric Rosen is also very happy about it. Okay, so I take it, and then I go a5, and I pretend that everything is fine.
Then I might. What were you thinking about with long castles? Maybe now I'm getting on your. Oh, I love that move, rook h4 though.
It stops a4 and also prepares castle on rook h1. Those moves are the best, aren't they? The ones that
I
stop a
love
threat and
those.
also prepare an attack.
That is awesome, and he gets a chance to play it.
And I think it's right up Eric's alley to play rook h4. Come
That
on,
is
Eric.
so beautiful.
Stopping a4,
So,
preparing
I
to double
initially
rooks.
I was trying to figure out if long castles could work. Oh no, I do not like that move.
Boo! Because it also prevents him from castling. So it's committal, passive, and it's not the best way to stop a4.
And now
It doesn't
can
even stop
Danny-
a4.
Yeah, I'm considering like a4, a3, soften up that c3 pawn.
Well, you have to. Danny just doesn't have a lot of time here to waste, because eventually Eric's going to get to his king. Okay, well, Danny's treading
yeah, but
water here.
Besides a4, I mean, I guess you could start with a move like queen c7.
Yeah. Just sort of aiming at the c3 pawn and opening up the rook.
But I don't see a reason why not to start with a4. Like queen c7, you could go back to your rook h4 idea.
Yeah. And he does play queen c7.
Okay.
And Eric
Right,
goes
knight
knight d4
wait,
preemptively.
okay.
Now f5 is hanging.
There, I was looking for some sacks, but no, they don't work.
I think we're going to see
Um,
rook f6.
Yeah, rook f6 would force the queen to d5.
What about queen takes c3 check?
Yeah, this is the one I was looking at, but I mean, the two rooks are not going to be enough. in that
No,
position.
queen takes c7 in the end, and the queen and knight combo is incredible in that position.
I mean, that would just be crushing. So yeah, Danny gonna have to find something else.
Okay, so after quite a long think, he plays rook f6. Now, Jeffrey, after queen d5, I'm more seriously considering queen takes c3, but I think just conceptually, the resulting imbalance is in White's favor.
Right, normally. Yeah, that position. Okay, you couldn't take on f5, but you just take on a5, and I think queen and knight are coordinating so well.
But you can tell your friends you sacrificed the queen.
Okay, fair point. All right, he does give up a5 anyway.
I sacrificed it. It's clearly a sacrifice. Me missed that you could take on a5. Who do you think I am? Blundered. Stop accusing me. I sacrificed it. e5 and now knight f3, and I think the compensation is extinguished.
Oh, the funny thing is, I just remembered Eric can't still castle. Right?
Wait, he can't?
He can.
Or he can.
Right?
Yeah, he can.
I think he can. He can, right? It's just been in the center for so long.
Isn't that a relatable thing over the... Like, online, you don't have this problem because you could just test whether you can castle. You can just try.
Yes.
Over the board, sometimes you start looking at your score sheet fevers. Like, did I move my king?
Wait, someone told me a story. There was a rapid game and someone actually did that on purpose. I think it was in Najdorf, and he played like rook h5 somewhere. And he played rook h8, and then 10 moves later, he castled. So
I heard that about Korchnoi, but I don't know if that's the same. So I'm sure there are multiple instances of that happening.
Probably, yeah. So, but this, yeah, it's hard to get any compensation here for Danny. Wait.
Okay, so he...
Okay.
There was knight g5 intermezzo, but I guess it was ineffective.
I think that would have been a good
H4.
inclusion, though. It would have been a good inclusion, but yeah, this is also...
Crushing.
Yes.
Goodbye.
F. Okay,
F4.
maybe. Oh, rook a1. I think you can still play a few more moves.
Yeah, because knight takes f5, you play rook g6, and you pretend that your king is safe. Although knight e7 there. No, it's over.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, Danny's also the one low on time here.
Yep. Where do you go with the king? Do you go to d3?
D3, yeah, D3 for sure.
King safety above all else. Okay.
I mean, Black can't really connect his rooks.
He's playing with his food.
But what does he not like about going to D3?
Yeah, Eric is treating this like it's like this super risky decision. Like, woo, I'm going with my king to the center. Like, oh.
Wow, he is really taking his time. Okay.
Rook g6, knight e7, d5.
Oh!
Do you like that?
I love that. I think we might see it.
That's all I do is like come up with these threats. And after d5, queen d5, you resign.
All right, Danny, not quite as cheap or clever, depending
Let
on
me show that line in the analysis board. E4 is actually checkmate because pinned pieces protect. But White could play queen takes d5 and the party ends.
All right, so Eric trying to see how he can end this game on the spot.
Which I think is the root of his problem, because I think if he just plays this slow, he should be able to win it more easily, like queen e8, I don't know.
Yeah, the only way you can mess this up is if you overthink the situation. And now he's getting himself under 20 seconds for no good reason.
F3 is a great move, and then just g4. This is how you should play this position. Just intensify, improve, and wait for the opportunity to go knight e7.
This is nice. This is nice, yeah. And that should be an unstoppable threat. Maybe h5?
Yeah, but knight e7 anyway.
Yeah, rook g5.
You're holding, I agree.
Yeah, I'm trying. All right, now that'll do it.
That will do it. Queen g8 is checkmate. Oh, e4, and Eric should resign now. What a scary check. Why not f takes e4? This is very weird king play from Eric this game. Like he's a king b3. Jesus, move already. End it. End the suffering. Tie the match. 2.5, 2.5. Wow. That was a nice game by Eric. Pretty good all-around game. Not perfect, but those pawn down positions they're dubious.
Right, yeah. He did handle that well enough to tie this match. And I think Danny, he needs to make some sort of adjustment because he's not been getting good positions with Black.
No, and there are Plenty of lines against the London. You don't need to stick to the same bad line every game. Like, you have a choice.
Yeah. All right. So now very slow approach here from Danny.
Although I sometimes do this at restaurants. I'll order a dish that I don't like, and then next time I forgot that I didn't like it, so I'll get it again because it sounds good. And then, you know,
Can
we
certainly
go down
relate
that
to
cycle.
yeah.
What's
Okay,
your go-to fast? Okay, no. Please talk about the position. I don't want to stop you.
No, I will answer that. Like, wait, I have a question. Does Chipotle, does that count as fast food or no?
Yeah. I mean, that's
Okay.
that's what I would name.
Oh yeah, that's mine. Yeah.
I'm a huge Chipotle fan, so
Oh, nice. Okay.
I actually had Chipotle yesterday.
All right. Yeah, I mean,
Congratulations, Daniel. Do you want a medal?
so
Would you like to
yeah,
commentate the game now? All right. White is better here, no?
Yeah, I do always like these structures for white. Especially I think the setup is very favorable. Danny, okay, there are multiple ways you can do this. I like bringing my knight around from c3 though, you just to open the diagonal. Let's start with dc. I like this too. Yeah, rook d1, lots of
But
pressure.
knight takes d5 is now flat out a threat, right? Followed by e4.
You do have to worry about knight d5 and knight b4, but I guess you might have queen c3 there, so it works out.
I saw that, of course. And then bishop f6, rook takes d8, I guess.
Yes.
So if Eric moves his queen, let's say queen b6, then there is knight a4, and there's also problems with bishop takes f6 when the bishop on e7 could actually be overloaded. It's protecting c5 and f6 at the same time.
Right, very surprising, but oh, d4.
Wow. So ed, he wants bishop takes f3, I suppose.
But does this work? Like, what if I just taken knight somewhere?
Yeah, that's a great question. Like knight e2.
Knight e2 maybe. Oh, bishop b4, rook d4 is okay. Maybe.
I'm not seeing any of this. Like bishop b4 or rook f1, no?
Simply rook f1. Yeah. Well, I guess Eric is saying there he's going to have some sort of long-term compensation.
The funny thing is white could actually turn the g file to his favor. Once king h1, rook g1 happens, the king's pretty safe.
Right, I have seen that exact idea. Yeah, besides that, I mean, Danny might be thinking about knight e4 just to keep his structure intact.
Yeah, knight e4 looks really good too. And you could get the benefit of winning the pawn without the drawback of allowing bishop takes f3. Although maybe knight e4 g6.
Oh, g6 would be a very good response. Yes. So
And
I
perhaps
think
black
Danny,
could even cling to the pawn then.
yeah, he should just allow this these doubled f pawns.
Yeah, but Eric, I think d4 from a practical perspective is good because it's making Danny uncomfortable. He doesn't like to have a weakened king, and he's taking a very long time on this decision.
Agreed. Yeah, very, very practical from Eric.
These games are taking a while. We're already at 13 minutes on the match clock.
Ooh, e4 seems like a bit of an overreaction.
Yep. Maybe more. I would say more than a bit.
So now, okay, there is a pin. Do you exit the pin? Yeah, he does.
Well.
Oh, wait, but you enter another pin with this. Like, imagine if the knight moves, then d4 is hanging.
Yeah. And the knight a4 was very accurate because knight e2 would have allowed g6 and then e4 would have been in trouble. Now g6, bishop h3, and e4 is protected enough times.
Mm-hmm.
And that bishop... So maybe bishop d... You're saying? Sorry?
Yeah, I was... I was going to say, yeah, there is no rook c8 here. That's the one annoying thing. But is bishop d6? What do you think? You seem unsure.
Well, bishop d6 immediately or after g6?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I guess here I was thinking rook c1, but this could get sharp, like g6, and then I'm gonna take something.
Yeah, and black might actually take the e4 pawn before you have a chance to take on c5.
Wait, but rook c1, g6. Maybe I go bishop takes d4.
Rook c1, g6, bishop takes d4, hitting the knight. Oh, what a beautiful idea. cd4, you play queen c7, and then at the end of the line, you also hit the bishop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both sides taking stuff. Not sure what's going on. Oh, he strikes with b4.
Aha. So in the event of g6, you cannot play bc because your queen is going to be hanging at the end of the line.
Oh, and let me show you something I think is quite nice. If you take,
Yeah.
so I think you should take and you throw in knight c5 first.
Oh, intermezzo, protecting e4, attacking the bishop. Agreed.
Exactly.
Knight c5 is very important. And white is in very decent shape here. He plays rook takes d4.
Yeah, I think this is a bit less accurate. But the question is, does black have a good move here? Because I think g6, he wants rook b4, which would attack both pieces. So a5, defending.
Yeah, white is going to experience problems with this e4 pawn. But rook c4 attacking the bishop. Does he want to play bishop takes f6? I guess not.
I don't think so. Yeah, this is an end game, but it's still very, very messy.
Indeed. He goes rook e7, defending the bishop. A trade on f6.
Oh, but I don't like that trade. Because, I mean, you double the pawns, you have a nice bishop, but I think black having control of the dark squares trumps that.
Agreed. Knight c5, bishop c6. The bishop can worm its way to b5 potentially. And black also has the potential to create an outside passer. But right now, white's got the initiative. Bishop e8. Just go all the way back.
Seems
Protect
very
important
reasonable.
squares.
Danny, he's maybe going to try to replace that bishop with a knight on f5. Oh, bishop d5. I didn't see that.
That's a cool little move. And you can't go to c1 because you blunder a2. Oh, but the knight c6.
Wait. Ooh, but what does that do? Rook e8?
Oh, sorry. I thought I thought it trapped the rook. Wait, so bishop takes e2 just wins for black, no?
Why didn't he go to c2? Oh, he wanted to defend, I guess.
No, I think he just blundered the pawn.
Just flat out blundered. But now, how do you find compensation?
I think the compensation is nowhere to be found. Bishop
Yeah,
e6.
it is. I think just bishop e6. It is too connected. So, I mean,
Yeah.
hypothetically, Danny could get his pawn back, but the pawns would just roll right down.
A4, b3. The stage is set. Oh yeah, you're saying he could play bishop takes c6 and knight takes c6, but the rook endgame is totally lost.
And yeah, this looks. Maybe you have to. Is there a way to like temporarily stop the pawns and hope Eric blunders a fork?
So you're saying something like, I don't know, knight a4, knight a fork.
Yes, precisely.
That was low-hanging fruit. That was a very weird blunder by Danny to just give up a2 like that.
But actually,
you can't afford to do that.
I think it really started going downhill when he missed that moment for knight c5. Because the thing about rook d4 a5, his pieces suddenly became very disoriented.
Oh, totally. It was all very, very loose. Very, very loose.
All right, he tries g3, but now I think a4 is a possibility. Bishop e5 if you want to play it simple.
Right. He goes g3 as if nothing's the matter. Just creating some luft. It's only a matter of time before the pawns start rolling, though. It's only a matter of time before a4, b3 happens, and then white will have absolutely no answer to those pawns.
Yeah, not much Danny can do here.
Okay, knight takes c6. Is there even an idea here?
No, I don't think
he plays fe, but it doesn't even matter. This is also perfectly good enough.
Yeah, even the pin alone on the c file is an issue of itself, but the pawns are just going to go straight through.
He goes knight d3, just take it and go a4. If maybe Danny had a way to give up the knight for both of the pawns, but the ironic thing, knight b3, Eric has rook b8. So you won't even be able to get both of the pawns.
Yeah, that is a very good point.
because that 4-on-3, he would have had, maybe some off chances.
Oh, but
Wait a minute.
he's gonna allow that.
Yeah, for some reason he allows that. Why not b3? What was the idea?
He probably thought that Danny was going to be able to sacrifice in any case. But now let's see how tricky it is to convert this.
h4, h5, fixing the pawns. This should be a win for Eric. I mean, he should find a way to get his knight around somehow, no? Knight c6, knight d4, I mean. But then king f1. The king hides on g2.
Yeah, it's still not easy to break through, and Eric's going to be annoying with his own rook.
But why king e1? Okay. No, but now rook h5 if you take on e4.
Can he defend it with king g6? Doesn't actually help matters, though.
King h7, there's rook g5. Amazing. No!
Wait. Why didn't he go back?
No! Rook h8. I think he thought Eric would play king h7. Oh, that's a huge blunder. Now it's over. Rook e2.
Right, yeah, he let him
Now-
off the hook there.
Now it's totally over. Rook g8, I guess, but he's up a full knight at this point. Yeah, Eric's technique left a lot to be desired there. There was absolutely no need to get this endgame. And Danny's going to flag, but the game was obviously already over. Okay, and Eric jumps out to a 1-point lead. This is a pretty big game. This is going to be the last game of the 5-minute segment, Jeffrey. And Danny, he's starting to drift a little bit.
Yeah, I do get the impression as well. And I have made this point in the past that the games right before the break are so incredibly important, just from a psychological point of view. Kind of, you go into the break feeling good about yourself. So important to me.
And Danny, I mean, I was going to say he hasn't really even been down that much in the I Am Not a GM SCC, but that's not quite true. He was down for most of the match, I think, against Justice, and he mounted that unbelievable comeback, winning 2 games on demand to tie the match and take it to overtime, and demonstrated nerves of steel in the Armageddon. So another close Sicilian. This time I like the way Danny is handling this a lot more.
Me too, yeah. And he's going to go for this typical b5, b4 plan. And with the h4, h5 inclusion, it's difficult for Eric to go for the more standard f4, f5 attack. He does it anyway. So
he plays it
me.
anyway. He's like, who cares about the g4 square?
At least, yeah, Danny's not going to get a knight to g4 anytime soon, I don't think.
Yeah, it would be incredibly cumbersome to play knight g8 and knight h6. Okay, now Eric puts his own knight on g5, trying to provoke f6. b5 by Danny, classic queenside expansion. Okay. Now, you often see white going like knight d1 and c3 in these positions, but in this case, you obviously have to take care of the fork first.
Right, yeah, that is the typical idea, but actually just getting out of that fork is not easy. Maybe, I guess you can go knight d1, knight f2 and move the rook.
Yeah. And he plays it. And Danny continues to expand on the queen side, and now b3 is a potential threat, and he should play it now while he has a chance.
I mean, b3c, it's not the end of the world to part ways with that bishop, but certainly hard for Danny to resist.
Certainly an achievement for black. And it could also be followed up with bishop a6. You're also creating a target.
That.
Okay, he plays it immediately, which is even more accurate.
I think so, yeah, because Eric probably has to go back with his queen.
Right. Queen d2. Danny with the initiative in a very active position, but how does he follow up? That's a problem you experience at a lot of these positions where everything looks great, but there aren't really any targets left to attack. And he allows bishop f2. Would you play that?
I probably would. I mean, I don't think it's a huge deal to save bishop, but I think it. Oh, then you can go knight e3 and put the rook back on a1. So now I definitely would.
Yeah, the puzzle pieces kind of move back to their initial squares. And I think Danny might regret not taking that bishop when he had a chance.
Yeah, he is stumbling a little bit. I get the impression he doesn't really know what to do.
Is he preparing d5? I mean, despite the fact that c5 is hanging, you could still consider it.
Yeah,
in
but
some cases.
I'm not actually sure because white's gonna be in time for rook a1. Oh, but bishop f3, I don't understand that move.
I think he walks right into d5.
I guess he wants to go g4, but seems. Oh, but
F5.
Danny, I guess.
Bit of an odd move. He leaves that knight not only fully intact on g5, but now that's going to be an eternal knight.
Yeah, it will stay there permanently. And here, I think knight e3. I mean, it's time.
Okay, king up to h2 and bishop f6. Both sides making small improvements to their position.
But how long is Eric gonna let this knight stay on c2?
Yeah, I mean, there's your answer.
Okay. Because once I mean, what white puts rook on a1, I think, starts getting annoying for black.
Yeah, I mean, things can unravel here really, really quickly. Black has this weak pawn on e6. The king is unsafe. White could potentially put a rook on e1 later.
Ooh, okay.
So e5, he wants bishop takes g5 and d4, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But what if Eric just takes on d5 and takes on c5 and says, thank you for the pawn?
You could do that. Oh, he allows this version, which is probably not correct.
Nope. Now d4. Or maybe you want to keep the center closed. If you're Danny.
So just, defend c5?
Yeah, for example, like rook dc8. On the other hand, white goes rook a1. White might also potentially set up a sacrifice on h5 if the circumstances are a little bit different.
All right, queen b5 also an option, but I don't think, the pressure on d3 doesn't really amount to much.
True. Rook fd1 simply. And the eval bar still believes that black is doing good here, but if I had to predict the course of the game, I feel like Danny's losing control.
Right, and okay, the fight for the c-file is gonna probably decide.
Yeah, you don't want to take if you're Eric because rook takes c8 and black is ready to play rook c2.
But that pawn on b3 doing a very, very nice job.
Yeah, very hard for white to make a move, and you don't have any squares on the c-file that you could land this rook on to prepare to double. Like rook c4 isn't possible, c3 is controlled by one pawn, c2 by the other. And Eric might need to tread water with a move like king g2, I don't know.
King g2, then maybe Danny would trade bishops.
Should be 7, yeah.
Wait, this is actually hard to play.
It's amazing. White has no moves. What about bishop e2?
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Rook c4.
But you do vacate the long diagonal. So I would go like queen d5 or bishop b7. He does go for it.
Rise it. Mm-hmm.
But I think Danny should spot this idea of hunting down white's king.
As you're pointing out, this long diagonal is wide open now.
And he does.
Gosh,
wait,
Danny, I stand corrected. He's played incredibly well the last couple moves.
He has. And actually, just stopping the mate threat is a very difficult task.
Well, I suppose you have to go rook g1 and just...
But I mean, no, but you'll definitely concede the c-file, right, in that case?
Yeah, because then black will take on c1 or even play queen d5 first. And white cannot afford a rook landing on c2. A rook landing on c2. That would be just the end of the game.
He can't... I don't think he can... Yeah, he can't afford anything landing on c2.
Or Queen anywhere. He's getting torn apart here. Queen e1. Eval bar hated that. Why? Is it connected to rook c2 in any way?
you could actually go rook c2 because if he takes, you would win the b pawn and have a pawn on c2.
And then you could kind of slowly but surely get this knight into the game and potentially bring it to a2, dislodging a rook that's going to be anchored to c1.
And I think white is just toast.
What a final sequence here from Danny. The moment I said he's losing control, he kicked it into high gear. He was waiting for me to say that and make a fool of myself as usual.
Seems like it. Yeah, and I was also, because I was somehow under the assumption that white would get the c-file. Like, as I said, the c-file is basically the deciding factor of that position. And he won the battle and looks like he should be on his way to tying this match.
And rook c8 here, he has to keep this pawn protected.
Yeah,
Very,
not sure
very important.
what is he thinking about?
Yeah, I'm similarly confused, but he does play rook c8. Now the last thing he needs to do is get this knight into the game. Don't go through c6 though, because that would blunder c2.
Also, knight 5, bishop g2. So you do want to be precise. Oh, maybe bishop f3 to start?
Oh, so get the bishop in front?
Yeah.
I think he still wants this idea of
Oh,
queen d5.
still, I love that.
Although
Great
queen
technique.
d5, bishop h3 holds on.
Well, but for how long, right?
Right. Not for very long.
I would think that, I mean, the rook should be overloaded at some point. Although you are right, there is, like, queen f3 doesn't end the game right away.
Nope. Queen takes d4. Somehow holding on.
All right. The good news is Danny does have time to work this out.
Plenty of it. Yeah. Knight c6,
Oh, I
knight
love
a5
that.
would have been another idea, by the way.
But I think this is very
wait, no, the
classy
bishop
from
is-
Danny. Yeah, but king f7, very, very good from Danny. And now maybe rook c3, knight c6. All right, or this way.
Yeah, queen c5. He's making space for the knight to jump to d5, and now he goes there. And now the advantage
Phenomenal.
has been transformed. Knight b4, knight a2, yeah?
Yeah, he's got this under complete control.
This might be Danny's best game of the match. I mean,
I think so.
Incredibly smooth after that rocky start.
Queen
Knight
g1
A2.
played. All right. Can he get this queen in somehow? He's gonna try.
If Eric didn't have the G pawn, okay, he's trying to give it away. Great minds think
Typical,
alike.
yeah.
Queen f3 is made in 2. Rook h8. Bang. Danny. I mean, that was merciless right there.
Superb
was-
game.
Unbelievable. And he ties the match at 3.5 apiece. And all things considered, Smarter Chess predicted a 1-point victory for Danny. But he's got to be very happy because as the underdog, the more time he takes off the match clock, the longer he stays close, the more unpredictable the outcome becomes, right?
Yeah, I thought so as well. Like initially when I saw the prediction, like I did say I agreed with the overall margin, but I wasn't sure like why is Eric, necessarily favored in the quicker time controls. But I guess we'll find that out.
Yes, we will. We will go on a short break. And when we return, we will have 45 minutes of 3+1. The match is tied. It's been unbelievably entertaining. You're watching the I Am Not a GM Speed Chess Championship back with 3+1 action on the other side of this break.
Want to hold a massive chess tournament with dozens of clubs or hundreds of players? Or maybe a small chess tournament with local but competitive clubs? With Club Arenas, you can. Club Arenas allow for tournaments of any size with any number of clubs and players. Customize the arena with any time control, with standard chess or mini chess variants, and with any starting position you want. Club Arenas are the most flexible tournament format on chess.com. Try one out today.
A very small event contested between amateurs is coming your way in less than 2 weeks. The 2022 Candidates Tournament from Madrid coming your way very shortly. Chess.com will have the best coverage, all of the video feeds. Who will challenge Magnus Carlsen in the next World Championship? This is a very long-awaited Candidates Tournament. You will not want to miss it, and you will not want to miss the 3+1 segment from the I Am Not a GM Speed Chess Championship here alongside Grandmaster Jeffrey Zhang. Jeffrey, the 5-minute segment was really, really close.
Yeah, it was. And I don't know if I think it's kind of what I was expecting. At least also probably Smarter Chess was expecting the same. But Danny has done a good job of kind of that last win right before the break was huge in terms of momentum, because I think Eric had won the last two. So I'm very interested to see what we get here in the 3-minute segment.
Me too, especially because Smarter Chess predicted a 2-point win in the 3-minute segment for Eric, and they are repeating the Taimanov. Now, their first foray into this line was largely a success for Eric out of the opening. Then it got crazy. Danny once again putting the bishop on d4, so he doesn't deviate his play from the first game in this line.
Yeah, and I'm curious. It seems to me that Eric checked the line because he quickly uncorked this new move, rook b8. So. Yep. I think I don't know. Do you usually check, openings during the break?
I like to bill myself as someone who does that, but I don't have the discipline to do it. The problem is those breaks, the time evaporates so incredibly quickly. When you're a viewer, you think the commercial breaks take forever, but when you're actually a player in the timeout, it's over before it begins.
Right. I can totally relate to that. Like the moment you open the laptop, it's like, oh, nope, time to go back.
Right, exactly. Okay, but Danny, with a very, very awkward and ineffective placement of his pieces. And as you pointed out, Jeffrey, the kingside attack has hit a complete standstill for white, and it never really got off the ground to begin with.
It hasn't. And Yeah, this probably, I have a feeling that Eric has indeed looked at it. And now as Danny, how does he counter? Because he's not, I don't think he wants to play f4 like he did in the other game. e4 just feels like it'll be too loose. But if not f4, you don't really have many other active plans.
Queen e1, and he's potentially trying to get the queen to g3, or just getting the queen out of the knight's line of fire. But how does Eric actually follow up here? His position looks amazing, but what's the knockout blow?
I think he should have probably just simply, yeah, I think he should have simply castled, because if he was able to bring the other rook to c8, there was basically no way to stop the attack. So instead, we do get this, and I think Danny would take with the pawn.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice, because now you get this classic situation where b3 can be met with a3 and a3 can be met with b3. Now, that doesn't mean that there's no longer a kingside attack, though. Very far from it, right?
Right, yeah. This is what Danny's probably counting on. The question is, I feel like the situation has improved for him, though. Like, maybe he can go something like queen g3 here.
Queen g3. Yeah, castles f takes e5 and bishop takes h6. It's not so easy to deal with the threat of the g7 pawn. Maybe queen g3, bishop f6?
Yeah, but fe?
Yeah, and then like rook f1 or something.
Yeah, if you take queen e5 with the pawn, then rook f1. Okay, takes.
I don't like that move at all, because the bishop was a very important piece, and what exactly is he giving it away for?
Well, I think also that was probably a slight mistake from Eric to allow d4, and at least now the knights start jumping.
Yeah, that's true. But now I would castle. I think the time is ripe for Eric to tuck his king away on the king side and focus on getting his bishops into attacking position.
Agreed.
And he does just that.
And now
I think Danny's going downhill here for Danny.
Well, I would probably try g4 there, but all right, let's see. Queen 3 preparing knight d3.
Bishop g4 getting the bishop out, and
I think knight d3 and rook c1 though. I mean, pieces.
Absolutely. I think Eric forgot about this move.
Pieces are coming out. Rook c1, rook c8 is the intention.
Yeah, and Danny actually could force the trade of queens with knight f5, and I think that's not such a dumb idea, especially... Okay, here goes rook d2. Now his knight is hanging, and now the queen is still undefended.
How do you deal with this? Do you go e5 and take with the knight?
I think you do. I think you have to go e5. Because knight f5 is technically possible, but it doesn't look very appetizing anymore. Oh, knight f2.
Right,
I forgot about that move.
As did I. But here, I mean, okay, bishop d7. Oh, he wants to follow up with g4.
And then maybe black can finally strike with a move like b3.
Yeah, b3, a3.
So maybe you want to go bishop e6 and contemplate some sort of a sack on a2. I don't know. That's a little bit too outlandish.
Right, but I do agree with your point that bishop looks much more active, and Eric agrees with it as well. So after g4, though, how do you... I mean, it's a race.
I think you should start by playing rook c8. I actually think black is not in as much of a hurry as it seems, because even if white plays g5, okay,
wait,
at this point, it's a moot point.
This walks into rook c1, though. I don't quite
bishop
understand.
a2.
Oh, I blundered right into
it.
Trick.
Eric is so tricky. Queen c5. Oh, I missed rook c1. And Danny continues to try to attack g5 and f5, and he wants knight g4 maybe.
I love that idea from Danny.
Spicy. And Eric, I'm positive, is considering bishop a2.
Oh my god. Oh, here we go.
b3 and a3 and 6 seconds for Danny, and I don't think he's pulling it out.
Holy cow, I didn't even notice the clock. So knight g4?
Rook c1, a2 also. Oh, queen a3.
Wait. It's not... but rook a8, yeah, that's probably unstoppable.
Especially with the time situation. Maybe queen a3, queen c3. So Eric goes rook c8 first. Very tricky move. Queen c2? No. Oh my god, that almost works.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, no. blunders queen c1, but yeah, he was way too long time there for such a position.
Yeah, there was just no chance.
Can we go back to that moment though? Let's see if there was any defense for Danny after rook fc8.
It appears that there was. Let me pull up the game.
Was there knight c2?
Okay, so after rook fc8,
Or no, I mean, sorry, they played a few moves first. Yeah, here. Yeah, here, knight c2.
There was knight c2 because it stops the bleeding down the c file. It protects the queen. And black has no inroads. Queen c4, and then you're basically ready to...
But that doesn't threaten anything, I guess.
Yeah, just take on g7, knight g4, and white is winning.
Wow, yeah, a big opportunity missed there from Danny, and just a result of poor time management, I think.
And that might have been the first game of the match where the time situation really, really hurt Danny. So let's see if he can pick up the pace a little bit. And I'm starting to get worried about his time management. He's down 30 seconds already.
What was this opening? Sorry, I missed it. Is this
yeah, I don't understand either. This was a London.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
E4, E5, which is not a pair of moves you see often in the London.
No.
Okay, so now they have a position that resembles the Sicilian. D6, I guess.
Yeah.
This pin is going to be quite unpleasant if you play D6.
It is resembling a sort of Sveshnikov. So Danny needs to handle this very well. Otherwise, he might get in trouble. And this could, what does he have in mind here?
I think he might be bluffing. I
95?
don't think he has anything in mind.
But Eric takes. Also reasonable.
That was just a pawn in the center that was hanging. I thought I could have been captured.
90. Oh, wait, no, you're right. I was going to say castles and maybe something, but there shouldn't have been anything. But Eric going for the more conventional way.
But now I think queen d6, and that defends the pawn. It protects c7, and it puts serious pressure on the knight. I always like the two bishops in these types of positions because f5 is an idea.
Mm-hmm.
And again, e5 is left hanging.
Danny just loves to bluff.
He just loves to sack that pawn, and Eric it's just sitting there. Okay, I guess now he'll play d6.
He might give him another chance. Actually, they might be missing like knight e5, rook e8, knight d3. I think that's what they're missing.
But also knight d7, rook e8.
Oh yeah. Although, okay, maybe the knight's trapped there, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, this is some sort of incredibly weird standoff where the pawn is just hanging for a gazillion moves. It's still hanging. Just take the pawn. D6 and F5.
Yeah, actually. Okay, finally.
Wow.
Okay, now the question is, can you take on D7 or not?
Yeah, it looks very cool. The idea, by the way, just to show really quickly, queen D7, knight F6 check, picks up the queen. The problem is that this knight is in a bit of trouble after something like bishop D6.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe... No, but now the other knight comes
now there's knight F6, yeah. Oh!
And then queen
so
D6.
The bishop essentially cannot... It doesn't have a square to retreat to.
Yeah, because if it goes to F8, then you're giving the knight an out. And white will then just be up 2 pawns.
He has gone for this. Oh, there's bishop... Oh, wait, I was going to say there's bishop E7, but then at the very least, the knight could come back.
To E5. Mm-hmm.
Although I wouldn't actually want to do that. Maybe you can still... There's no threat, so maybe like queen D4, rook D1, you could...
No, this is going down the drain for Danny, I think.
Yeah, and I don't know why he insisted on leaving that pawn hanging.
Yeah, there was absolutely no downside to playing D6. And this kind of, gamesmanship, it's going to backfire more often than not. Danny has been giving up pawns at will in the London, and in the last couple of games, he hasn't been getting away with it.
Right, yeah. I'm wondering who is suggesting this line with knight A6. Is it? I'm assuming...
Got Fabi written all over it.
No, I was gonna say probably Robert. Yeah.
Yeah, crappy line where you sacrifice a pawn for no reason. Definitely Robert.
Okay, so yeah, he can just take in queen D4.
But any such situation where Eric is up a minute, even if the position was equal, I think Danny has virtually no chance.
Yeah, he's I don't know why, for whatever reason, he seems so unconfident at the start of this 3 minute. Because like last game, I didn't even notice how low he was, and again, I mean, 12 seconds, that's not going to get it done.
No. And take c5. Eric is taking his time as well. I think he might be tempted by a move like queen g4, but there's no need for such adventurous play. You're just up 2 pawns.
Yeah, this
And
is
you might
very
even be
clean.
up 3. It's over.
Indeed,
This
yeah.
is completely lost. Yeah, rook g6. Last try by Danny. Maybe he'll try queen g5, but one move made threat. Ooh, scary.
Scary.
Like queen h4. Oh, how about this line? Queen f2. And then if like there's 97 check ideas to distract the rook.
Yeah.
Eric
And-
wants all the pawns though.
Yeah, just pick that up. Why not?
Just go to the garden, pick some raspberries, and now you're up 3 pawns. And you're about to be up 4. Ooh, rook e4 if queen a5.
Danny fighting on with a second.
Okay, just go rook d1.
Man, Eric has been very methodical converting, I've noticed.
Yeah,
Takes
he's
his time.
taking oodles of time, and really anything wins here. So, wow,
I don't
20
know.
seconds. I wouldn't allow myself to make this a time scramble. Danny needs to pre-move,
All right,
He's
another
like-
pawn down.
and another one on a5.
All
I
right, he
guess
can
has
take
rook
on
takes
e4. Yeah.
He can
Not
take
seeing
now,
that.
but Danny has clearly decided not to take any pawns this game.
No, he only wants
Oh!
to give them up. Oh, now okay.
But it was obvious that this would happen.
Yeah, he needs to somehow get back on track here. These last few games have not been good at all.
It's a 2-point lead for Eric. He wins the first 2 games of the 3-minute segment. And I agree with you. From a time management perspective, from an opening perspective, Danny just has not looked confident. And he repeats this very positional Queen's Gambit declined line.
Yeah, we did like his position at the start. I think it was only, he didn't. I think Eric sacked upon d4 and he should have just accepted it. But all right, now he's going for a different idea, setting up a stone wall.
Yeah, he plays f2, f4, establishing what's sometimes known as the Pillsbury Knight on e5. Queen f3, queen h3. These positions are very easy to play in blitz.
They are, yeah. Yeah, I remember as a beginner when someone used to play this against me, I used to get just so frustrated.
Yeah. No, it's very, you just get smoke every time. A queen h3, like rook f3, rook g3. I had the same problem.
But I like
But
this
then
from
you-
Eric. Yeah.
Yeah. E4 square is important.
He's getting c4, b4, and knight e4.
Yeah. Which is Black's most annoying idea.
No, but this is not precise because now c4,
c4,
you
bishop,
can-
c4.
Yeah.
But then maybe knight e4.
Ooh.
Can you get away with
Really?
this? Bishop
Really?
c4, knight e4, attacking the bishop and intercepting the queen's contact with the other bishop.
Wow, that is a nice trick. But he goes knight e4 immediately.
All right. Do you take here if you're white? I never really know when to pull the trigger on that move.
Yeah, you do have to time it. I probably wouldn't. I think I would either go rook d1 or maybe bishop e1, not sure which.
Agreed. Yeah, the light squared bishop is an integral part of white's entire setup. Without it,
Yeah.
it's really, really toothless.
f6. So he can go to c4 if he wants.
Yep. He goes back to g4.
Oh wait, there could be some potential tactics with the d file opening up, just to keep that in mind.
Mostly from white's
Okay.
perspective, right?
Yeah.
Queen b6 by Eric.
So now I want to launch an attack sooner or later here because, I mean, Eric, he moved his queen far away from the king. So if something starts, could be an issue.
No, that's totally true, especially because you have a pawn on f6. He goes knight c6. So Eric is not worried about Danny taking on e4. Right now, if white takes twice, there's knight takes d4.
Right.
And all of the squares are defended.
So knight g3 is a move that I would be tempted by.
Mm-hmm. I mean, White's goal is very clear. You have to get rid of this knight on e4. It's a bone in White's throat.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would look for, I mean, either that or knight f2. Just get rid of this knight.
He takes on c5.
So what is his follow-up, though? Because I thought this would be helping Eric more.
Could it actually be bishop takes c4 and queen takes c4? I don't like it, but I'm just trying to figure out what Danny might have in mind. No, he goes bishop back to c2.
Oh, this is, okay, this makes a lot of sense. Bishop could also transfer itself to b3.
Ah, trying to win that pawn on your own terms. Knight e7. Okay, now don't miss queen takes e4. Unpinning. Centralizing the knight. Yeah, position is very unclear here, but Evalbar seems to think that black is in charge. And he goes a5.
Yeah, but certainly could see this getting sharp. I mean, all pieces still on the board.
Again, I'm starting to worry about Danny's clock.
Yeah, the issue is his pieces are, again, really like bishop on c1, knight on g4. Just not ideal.
Yeah, they're really, really stuck in mud.
f5, okay, I like
really
this.
stuck in mud.
Wants to put a knight on e6.
Drops the bishop back to c2. It was attacked by the pawn from a4. And knight e6 is now a very, very serious threat, as you're saying. Does it necessitate? No, you certainly don't want to play bishop takes d4.
Right, I wouldn't want to, let that bishop on c1 see the light of day. So knight g5, pretty good response, I think. And as Eric, the question though is, how do you, because he's done a lot of good things to improve his position, but what next?
Yeah, his position looks very impressive, but Danny's also incredibly solid. There aren't really any targets, and it's hard to play positions like this in Blitz, where there are no clear directions of attack, and he plays b3. But what if just knight takes b3?
Yeah, so he
back
just
to d4.
He gives up a pawn. I'm not sure exactly why.
Oh, I don't like that move because it permanently prevents the queen from being able to get to h4 if necessary.
But okay, Danny, bring the knight back. Once the knight lands on e6, I mean, you could see, and also if I could, I would go like b3, bishop b2, set some stuff up on that diagonal.
Yeah, knight takes f6 becomes a very serious threat. Maybe bishop a4. He goes bishop back to b1. And the position continues to heat up and the clock continues to dwindle for both players.
Yeah, this could come down to yet another time scramble.
Much better job by Danny managing his
Oh,
time
I
here.
like, by the way, I was going to say I like h5 and knight h6, but it is very scary in any case. So queen h4 threatening sacks, but knight g5 solves the problems.
And now if you take, which way is black going to take back with? Because if you take with the f-pawn, then f6 becomes a possibility, and vice versa for hg and h6.
Oh, right. You have to pick your poison with that. Will Danny kind of spot that inconvenience, though, for black?
Something's bothering him about it. He finally takes, and Eric takes with the f-pawn. How is Eric going to stop f6?
I mean, you can't. You go knight g8 probably, but I would go
Still.
f6 anyway, yeah.
In a heartbeat.
There we go.
And he does. And then
And
maybe
now-
queen f2, queen f5.
Exactly. Play it. Queen f2.
Goes
No, he goes the other way.
Right. But now
Oh,
Eric
wait.
builds the battery
Oh,
first.
no.
Oh, you can't stop queen h2.
Oh,
Now, how
my.
dangerous is
He
it?
has to go. No, I think. Oh,
Oh
he
my god, now
pushes-
d4.
Oh, now d4 is nasty.
Opening up the other bishop. Maybe e4?
Yeah, he has to try e4, but I mean, I doubt you can survive that.
He's panicking. He's got 2 seconds. He's going to lose. And he blunders mate in 1.
That's mate.
And once again, Danny not able to stabilize in that time scramble. The lead has ballooned to 3. And in the shorter time control, Eric has just been in charge.
He has, yeah. And Danny has to find a way to stop the bleeding now.
Yeah, he does. This is a must win. Like, flat out must win. Because in the bullet, hey, we were talking about Bibisara being the favorite. Danny proved us all wrong. But Eric is not going to relinquish a 4-point lead in the bullet.
Unlikely.
Let's be real.
And finally, we see a different approach to Eric's London / Verisov, or what is it?
Yeah, I guess Jababa London or Verisov London, multiple names for it.
But again, I don't like Danny's position because white's going to go b3. And this is uncomfortable.
Ooh, and he allows BC, which creates a massive weakness on c4. And Eric is dominating out of the opening. This is losing for black.
It is. I think Danny, he knew he was playing too slow, and that's why he's played fast. But unfortunately, the adjustment is not going to pay off.
No, he's way overcompensated, and you cannot just play random moves against Eric in the opening.
And yeah, after AB, queen b5, I think you can go like queen. Okay, he even just plays
maybe queen d5. I know that looks terrible, but my idea is bishop f3, knight e4.
Yeah, you do. I don't think you blunder anything, but maybe just queen a4 could be very strong.
Oh, on rook b5. Oh. But not after bishop f3, knight e4. If you play queen a4 there, I might have some sort of knight takes c3 intermezzo. Eric playing it calmly, though.
Mm-hmm.
Also good, yeah?
Yeah, bishop 3, huge threat.
And essentially unstoppable. Even if you play b6, I still go bishop f3. And then potentially bishop b7 wins material.
And on knight e4, I guess you could take on c4 if you want. I'm not actually sure that's the best, though.
I would be considering f3 and e4.
But after knight d6, e4, queen a5, I don't know.
Oh, you don't trap the queen. I missed that.
Yeah, maybe Danny's actually gotten the best he could out of this.
No, you're right. I missed knight d6, and I think Eric did as well. And he would love to take that move back.
So as it stands, Danny is up a pawn. So
yeah,
that is the good news.
Cannot argue with that fact. And now white has kind of a path of no return situation going here with that bishop on e2, losing a lot of its effectiveness.
But I mean, yeah, he's doing a very smart thing here, just putting rooks on a1, b1. And that knight is, I mean, everything's just frozen on the queen side.
No, for sure. The silver lining for white is that he's got still pretty much overwhelming compensation for that pawn. Maybe not as good as he could have gotten, but Danny's position remains incredibly nasty.
Yeah, and here I don't think you want to trade as Eric.
But can you avoid it? Do you play bishop h2?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
It's like, remember that one of the first games where white had the move bishop a1 to avoid all the bishop trades? Because here you have the same situation. Black can play bishop h4, and then white plays bishop h2.
Right. Oh, there is one idea. Oh, I don't like h5. I was going to suggest f6, knight g4, f5 to kind of chip the center like that. I don't know if that would work, but here, I mean, he wants to, close off the g4 escape, but now f6 shouldn't be a threat.
Some doors open, some doors close, other doors open, and it's very hard to trap the knight in the center. Yeah, but Eric pushing f4, committal decision.
Yeah,
h4 counterattacking the bishop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now maybe a move like bishop f3 can be considered.
Yeah,
that takes the eyes off of the c4 pawn. Maybe not.
Right, I love this idea. I was about to suggest it too. Relocate the bishop on the other diagonal.
So you want to go bishop g1?
Yes.
Brazenly, I was even thinking about repositioning the rook to g1 and trying to open the g file. Black's king is not the safest here. And knowing Eric, I think he might have that in mind.
I mean, that is actually more dangerous than it would seem.
Now I think f6 is on the horizon.
But I mean, still, it's not really a move that you'd love to play. Like just knight g4.
And e5 is a threat now. Huge threat.
I mean, I could just see the light squares simply collapsing in a few moves.
Oh, 100%. What kills you is that you can't move the knight, you can't move the b pawn, you can't move anything, and now e5. Is that just crushing?
Ooh, it is. That's lights out.
It's over. Can't move the knight either. Danny is, I wouldn't say he's playing tilted, but he's lost some of his mojo.
Okay, he's still in the game. Oh wait. Oh no, rook f3, ed6, but he has knight b5.
Oh, and then knight a3 is a threat.
Yeah. Is there something again? Like, can white play for mate? Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're thinking of the same thing. Now, maybe just takes in rook b1 to start.
Ooh, that looks pretty devastating.
It looks good, but queen e8 and black can always sack back at least some of the material to get the
Okay.
knight back in the game.
Yeah, Eric getting a bit low on time. Goes queen g6, also very scary.
Queen e8, the e6 pawn hangs, and now the
So-
threat is actually bishop e4.
Yeah, you might have to like sack on f3 here. He does. But now rook g1 is coming.
Yeah, now the g file is opened. Rook g1 even anyway.
Yeah, maybe
Queen F3 or
anyway.
Rook g2.
I would do it anyway, yeah.
Totally. You don't need to defend this pawn.
And you can throw a knight
Rook
h6 too, but you don't really. Okay, but now rook f8. Hold on, Danny's back in the game, I think. You can
Rook
also
F8.
take on c3. No, but knight f6 is a threat, so I would go rook f8.
Knight f6 is the most immediate threat. You have to prevent that one. And he plays it. And 13 seconds for Eric.
Yeah, there's
Where
gonna be
is the mate?
tricky.
It's mate in 12 according to the eval bar. I think it's knight h6 and rook g1.
Oh, like this. Also, he can go with the other order.
He plays queen h5
Oh.
and he's setting up knight h6 ideas.
Does it still
He's
work?
gonna have to go back.
Wait,
Check on e8.
maybe you check on e8 here. Okay, goes.
Rook takes
wait,
f3?
Wait, rook f3?
Whoa, king g1,
Knight-
and now it's unclear. Knight c3.
So
Oh
it's-
my god. Eric's gonna lose.
Yeah.
Queen f3.
Wait, does he have a draw or not? No, he doesn't.
No, king f8.
Knight e2 is mate. Wait, don't take the draw, Danny.
King f8, and knight e2 is a mate threat. Oh my god. And now you could just take on
Take everything.
take on h6.
Yeah, just take everything now.
It's over. Knight d4. Oh my god.
A huge turn of events.
What an incredible comeback from Danny, and that win could not have come at a more important moment. Assuming he finishes this one off.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that he will. And yeah, Danny, he needs to make something out of this.
Eric's definitely setting up stalemate ideas. 100%. He's going to h7. You know what he's doing.
Oh, wait a
You know
second.
what he's
Okay.
Wait, king e6. Rook a7.
But no perpetual here, right?
No, knight c3 or any bishop c3, yeah.
Wait, how do you even stalemate yourself? Probably you
You don't.
can't.
I mean, the only idea is the Rosen trap. Like,
Oh, like king d. Oh no, but that I mean.
he would have done that if he didn't have the e-pawn.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And he's also milking clock because he wants the bullet.
All right,
God,
just
Danny is taking forever to convert this. He's got 3 extra pieces, for goodness sake.
this is a little bit early for burning match clock, but fair enough, I guess.
Yeah, and Eric, one time out of 100, he's hoping for a stalemate, and his strategy makes a lot of sense.
All right, so
All
we're gonna
right.
see. Okay, Danny needs to deviate somehow. I mean,
Yeah,
down the road.
this whole bishop d4 idea I really dislike, and he continues to repeat. I don't understand why he's being so pig-headed about this.
I mean, I would suggest you need to protect f3. So like queen f2 and g4, like ASAP.
And he keeps playing bishop d4, and then he starts to think, why does he like this move so much?
Rook c1.
It
This
doesn't even look good.
is creative by Danny.
And Eric, with the same line that brought him success
And now
in
he's gonna
C3.
he's gonna try to open the c file, but he also might have to like retreat to a1, or what is he? Okay, I guess he can. He's threatening cb.
Yeah, a4, there's cb opening up an attack on the queen. Now you could play it anyway, but then the knight is the a5 square. So Eric does have to deal with a threat.
Yeah,
of
maybe
c takes
just
b4.
maybe queen d8 is okay.
Yeah, queen d8. Queen doesn't have any other squares. I mean, queen b7 would still blunder a5. And you have to keep this pawn protected. What about bc? I guess that's inadvisable.
Yeah, I didn't want to let the knight out with tempo.
He does play it.
Wait a second, but knight c3. What do you even play here? This.
I mean, now you have to move your queen. 'Cause I
Yeah,
wouldn't
you
allow knight
still-
d5.
Yeah, you still can go queen d8.
But I agree, this is not looking all that hot anymore.
Okay, but we're gonna get another similar theme that we've seen already with the pawn race.
Yeah, and I think Danny is like consistently underestimating that Black's pawn storm is a lot more effective than White's because there's already an open file that's a preset attacking weapon.
Yeah, great point. And I guess is Danny, he can't go h5 right away because that would drop g5, but maybe
Yep.
f4. But I mean, knight c6, it feels slower.
Knight back to c6, indeed, and it hits the bishop, and rook takes b3 is the threat, and so he moves the bishop back, and now the knight heads to b4, and this is what I'm talking about, Jeffrey.
Oh.
Bishop a6, and you can play a4 at any moment, even if it comes with a sacrifice. He almost pre-moved that.
That was a great find there by Eric. Knights to b4 and bishop a6.
White's position sucks here. Bishop d3 is coming. a4. I don't see Danny surviving this one.
Certainly looks bleak, but wait, there's knight a2 here.
Oh, that is a sick move. If knight a2, you drop b3. If king a2, bishop c4 picks up the knight with interest.
Yeah,
and Eric
a lot of
plays
interest.
a4.
So what is this though? Oh, knight c5.
Great move, and that's what Danny was setting up.
Okay, now this is far from clear. So bishop c4, he's gonna take. I think he's gonna just pick up a4.
Queen a5.
And maybe, yeah, that's still looks very scary. I agree. Because I was gonna say b3, but then knight a2 comes again with full force.
And yet again, White hasn't even gotten off the ground on the king side, so it's really a one-sided game if you think about it. But why is Eric giving up the bishop? There's also a fork.
There's also that, yeah.
I mean, queen a5, very loosey-goosey move.
It is. I guess you go knight d7 here as Danny, but it's still sharp, like knight d3. What's going on?
Well, as Yasser likes to say, if you're going to die, at least you're going to die with a full stomach. Knight d7. I think
That's
this is
great.
a quote attributable to Yasser's friend. Yes. Well, we were sitting around and drinking our coffee and champagne, and, he said, if you're going to die, exactly, die with a full stomach. So, anyways, knight takes a4. So he ends up taking the pawn that I thought he was least likely to take of all of the items on the menu, the bishop, the fork, the pawn. He takes the pawn.
Yes, but can Eric punish him in any way? Not right away. So rook c8, I don't see the threat right off, but there should be something coming.
Oh, something's definitely coming.
Okay, a3 is a good move. How do you increase here as Eric?
Yeah, White wants to take some pieces.
Wait, this is very tricky.
Also 38 seconds as he's trying to
Okay,
figure it
maybe
out.
I think bishop c4 is a move because AB you probably don't want to open the A file.
Right. It
So,
is critical to maintain your light squared bishop. Especially
that is
given that
actually-
C3 is now very weak. Bishop c4
Yeah,
is a
it's
great
very
move.
strong. It's very strong. But okay, does
Oh,
this
AB
work?
queen a4.
Oh my goodness, Eric, so tricky.
Incredibly tricky. But now there's another fork hanging in the air, and I think this one is really bad for black.
Oh yeah, knight b6, and and he spots it.
God, and he spots it quickly too. And Danny Rensch has been on point this game, even as he's gotten attacked from all sides.
Yeah, he's not falling for any of the traps that Eric is posing. D5 desperation.
And Eric's just trying to create just like
Wait.
complications, but he
Can
doesn't
you
have a single
take-
threat.
Can you move the knight like knight takes d5? Does it work or not?
Knight
I think it
d5, there's
does.
going to be a trade, right?
That has to
I think
work,
it.
yeah.
Oh yeah, because Rook C.
No,
I
that
mean,
has to work.
100%, and Danny
And he
sees that
sees
too.
it again. Bravo.
Where's the knockout after ED?
I mean, there are so many options. That's what the annoying part. Like you could take on a fate, go queen b8, bishop c5, queen d6.
Well, I like
Which one do
bishop
you
c5 from the perspective
Oh,
of knight
you're
c2. There's
right.
queen takes c2.
You're absolutely right.
I think that's cleanest and most practical.
Actually, it might be the only way because otherwise knight c2, and he sees that also.
God, Danny has had some incredibly clean games. He takes b4.
Bishop
He's going to
b4.
take f8.
Perfection from Danny this game.
Absolutely. Rook takes f8. He's looking for something more decisive, but this is plenty decisive. Queen
Wait,
e5.
do you see that Danny shook his head? He hung the rook on c8. You saw that?
Oh my
He
God. I
shook
didn't
his
even
head
see
there.
that. That rook
Yeah.
was hanging.
Wait a second. Go back. Go back. Hold on. What? Oh, you have queen d2. Luckily, you have queen d2. Luckily for white.
Oh,
Otherwise,
so you're
you really
saying
would've-
it was close to lost.
Yeah, if you don't have queen d2, I think you're down a bishop.
Yeah, let me
You-
show that for the folks at home. That
Mhm.
was nuts. Bishop takes f8. Eric could have just taken the rook. He's threatening queen c1, so you're saying queen d2, defends c1, and counterattacks the bishop and preserves an advantage for white, but not a big one. After d
That
takes
was-
c4. Wow.
Yeah, that was not a great slip, but all's well that ends well, I guess.
That's right. And Danny brings the lead to within 8 minutes to go on the match clock before 25 minutes of the bullet. And another very, very important game. Danny could tie the match here with a win.
So a bit more solid approach from Danny. I like knight b8, get the knight back in. And yeah, sooner or later, he's going to kick the knight probably with a6.
Yeah, he seems a lot more confident all of a sudden. And
He
faster.
does. Yeah. I think the one reason why he got away with that blunder was because Eric had 1 second. So obviously he wasn't expecting. I think he pre-moved king h7 because, I mean, I don't know why Danny wouldn't play rook takes f8 check.
Yeah, what kind of psycho wouldn't take the bishop with check, right?
But anyways, yeah, he got away with that due to his good time management. So he needs to keep that up.
Well, his position is not great here, to put it mildly. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks like white's made a lot more moves than black.
It does. CD5, good timing here from Eric. And if you take with the c pawn, I mean, just open the c
Ooh.
file and that b5 square.
Totally. You could put a knight there any second. And this is where you start
Right.
looking for tactics. Knight b5.
Yeah,
No, that
Danny's-
takes a knight b4.
Yeah, Danny's asking for it, but there isn't anything concrete.
Okay, so now takes a knight b4
Mm-hmm.
and pretend that everything is fine.
Maybe
But white can just, like queen, yeah.
queen a4, bishop d6. I mean, he is holding on.
Oh, totally, yeah. Also queen a4, there's knight d3 related moves.
Uh-huh.
So I was thinking maybe start with rook c3 and then play queen a4. But I agree with you. Black will play bishop d6 and just sort of work around this knight.
Yeah, okay, so he takes, which is interesting. So he wants to plant the rook there. Makes sense.
And he does. And he attacks b6. And that pawn is a huge weakness. Queen
Actually, this
b7, rook
was-
c7.
Yeah, don't blunder that. This was a great decision from Eric. I underestimated it.
Well done. Very mature to give up the knight like that, as you're
Oh.
saying, and realize that the pawn is almost indefensible.
Yeah, it's not easy. I think there is a clever way to defend, which is to play a4 and to meet it with
Uh-huh.
bishop a5.
Oh, lovely idea. I guess I'll play queen, like queen d3 here, but then maybe you have a3. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Or
I
at the
did-
very
wait,
least,
I-
you can play bishop a5.
No, sorry, I did blunder in that line because after bishop a5, I forgot you can go rook c6 back.
Oh, yeah, you can. Intercepting the queen again.
So
God,
yeah,
it just kills black that you can't put a rook on b8.
right. That is very.
That's
very
what's really
annoying.
devastating about this.
And this is also pretty devastating because you're either gonna have to concede the c file or allow a pawn to arrive on c6, and that is both are very great evils.
And if you allow rook fc1, then white might even recapture with the queen. So if I'm Danny, I think the lesser evil, it's lost either way, is to take on c6 here, at least for a little change of scenery.
Yeah, I get that concept, but that pawn once it
No, I agree.
lands on c7, I find it hard
That's
to
not-
believe.
That's not all peaches and cherries either. I agree.
So
It's,
I
it's
think
completely lost, actually.
yeah, let's see. Is there any way Danny can find some form of counterplay, but doubtful.
What's Eric's plan here? Is it like queen d3, queen b5?
Yeah, you could, or c7, queen c6, I think is even more direct.
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
There's just nothing you can do.
Nope. c7's coming. I mean, h6, whatever, g6, but none of that even remotely helps the situation.
So Danny will get one more game with the white pieces
Yeah.
to end the segment. So I think very interested. We'll probably see the time enough line again, which has been just leading to double edge positions one after one.
Queen takes a8 here is the threat. And he was those of you who were present yesterday will remember that he was down by 2 against Bibisara going to the bullet.
That's right.
And not only came back, but came back with, or was he up by 2? Why am I blanking?
Wait a
totally
second.
blanking. I forget if he was up by 2 or down by 2.
Oh wait, no, he probably wasn't down by 2 because he was leading the whole match. I got it mixed up.
No, he was up
Justice.
by 2.
Yeah.
I also got that mixed up. So he was up by 2. This time he's likely to be down by 2. But
okay. Yeah. As Eric,
it's not to be discounted in the bullet. Mm-hmm.
Just don't go queen b8. But yeah, rook c3 first and now queen b. Oh, queen b8 a3. I'm just trying. I just want to make sure not to blunder some weird nonsense.
I guess there is queen takes a8 there. And you can even play ba. You can even play ba because the bishop hangs at the end of the line.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he's safe.
So anything wins. Danny has done a good job of like really exploiting all of his chances, but some of these positions that he's getting out of the opening have just been unsalvageable.
Specifically, well, yeah, actually, I was going to say specifically for black, but I mean, as white also, it's not been great, honestly.
Good calculation there for Eric. Whichever way black pushes the pawn, it will be stopped by the rook from behind. And it's all over. Just king f1. You could always bishop c7, bishop a5, bishop c3.
Yeah, many ways to get at the b2 pawn.
And Danny resigns, and now the all-important final game of the 3-minute segment with a Sicilian and Eric with knight f6. Mm-hmm. An interesting line.
Yeah, I wonder how... I played this a lot for black, like this knight f6. It's... Okay, you basically avoid a couple of things. That's why you throw it in. It's kind of a strange move order.
Well, but, mainly it's to avoid this, right? That's how I was taught.
No, it's more to avoid the line with knight f6, f3, I think. So c knight d4,
so you're forcing knight c3. I see.
Yeah, but wait, I don't like how Danny's played this because I know there's a more precise way, and here, I mean, it looks pretty nice for black.
He's doing h3 and a3, and he's focusing on playing really, really quickly, but he's not posing any challenges to Eric's setup here. I agree. Okay, bishop h6 and knight g5, maybe.
Yeah, bishop h6 is definitely a good idea. Yeah, I would. Okay, it's gonna try another way to attack.
Yeah, he's accumulating his pieces on the king side. Rook takes c6 should also be considered maybe a little bit down the road.
Yeah, I like the speed of that Danny's playing, the rhythm, because it's going to be important. Oh, wait a second. Bishop f5 and knight d5. Whoa.
Oh, this looks terrible for black all of a sudden.
At the very least, you take upon it. You take with the bishop, by the way. And
exactly.
Then I think that's just a disaster.
That's almost game over, because if black takes, then you take back with the knight, and that's a fork. If you don't take, then the bishop drops back to f6, or you play knight f6 and just look at the king. It's going to be made in like 2 seconds.
And wait, would you... Okay, it's probably too much to consider resigning here, get an extra 3-minute game with white. But my point is, like, I feel like the white color is more, it's stronger in blitz than bullet.
Oh, no, totally. In bullet, I argue that it's the difference is totally minimal, unless somebody has like incredible preparation or something. Last chance here for Eric to resign. It doesn't. It's just not his style. Yeah. He's gonna sit there until he finds some way to prolong the game.
He doesn't resign until he has 0.000% chance of winning.
So are you going knight f6 check here to solidify your dark squared bishop?
Very tough question.
Are you going bishop f6?
They both look so tempting. Oh, he goes c3.
Why so reticent though? I mean, Jesus. Just put something on f6. Yeah, maybe king h8 now.
My question though, after knight f6, bishop f6, how would black have stopped like the incoming mate threats? Like, I just want queen f4.
Yeah, queen f4, queen h6, and anytime you put the king on h7, the other knight jumps into g5.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think it would have been totally crushing.
c3 is like a move you play where it's like you just want your opponent to know how bad their position is, that you can play a move like that and it's still a nightmare.
Well, literally. I mean, knight is coming to f6, and I don't know what Eric's thinking about. King h8 isn't really a viable defensive option.
Yeah, but I think he sees that bishop f6, he has no way to stop mate simply.
The game is basically over. Bishop f6, and your maneuver, queen f4 and queen h6 is killing, because black has no way to dislodge the bishop that will land on f6.
Yeah, and that is precisely the problem. Okay,
Wow.
he might actually go king h8 because, all right, he does take queen b6.
F4.
So what does he have? Oh, he has queen c.
Oh.
No, he does not. No, he doesn't.
Oh, because h8 is also a mating square. That's hilarious. That's easy to miss, actually, and he misses it. Queen h6 and queen h8.
There wasn't really much else. So.
I feel like Danny's gonna go rook d6 and queen f5.
Oh God!
And then we're gonna have a game
on. Yeah, then it would be game on.
Still completely winning, but that's when you start doubting.
But this is really interesting that all four of us kind of had this mental block. That there was no mate on h8. At least
because I think you're used to having a pawn here, and then g7 is the only mating square. And here it's weird that h8 is also a mating square. It literally is mate in two. Queen.
Oh my God! Right. Oh.
And now queen f5.
And there's gonna be some work to do there.
No, but takes and knight g5. But I agree.
Yeah, takes knight g5.
Okay, come on. Knight
oh wait, he didn't see.
96.
Oh no. He had to see queen f5 there.
This is a bad game by Eric. I mean, he really didn't sense the danger. And now queen h6 is coming.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't even need to see queen h8.
I did mention, like, I like his position out of the opening, but he was way too nonchalant. Like, he was going rook c8, b5. He needed to do something more direct, like move his knight c4, knight a5, knight d4.
No, totally. He didn't sense the danger at all. And okay, now choose your poison. And Danny wins, and that concludes the 3+1 segment. A 1-point lead for Eric. That is not a safe lead at all. Now, I think he's the favorite in bullet. So, Jeffrey, I think Eric's really happy to be where he is, but it's impossible to predict the outcome of the match at this point.
Yeah, it is very up for grabs. Eric, he might be happy. Danny should also, though, because the match was getting out of hand at some point, and he weaseled his way out of that dead lost position, won another one. And he's within one, so he's right back in this.
We will see if he is up to the task yet again. But first, a short breather for the players. You're watching the I Am Not a GM Speed Chess Championship here on chess.com. We will be back with the final segment of this long-awaited match between Danny Rensch and Eric Rosen in just a couple of moments.
Did you know you can watch top chess events right on your phone? You don't even need to download an app. Just open any mobile browser and head to chess.com/events. You can see what's happening right now, check out top games, see results, and so much more. Try it for yourself at chess.com/events.
It took him to fix with the draw when you have, well, oh my goodness, it happened right here on national television. Did you see that? Oh my goodness, wonderful. I'm hurt. Oh man, oh my goodness, bro. I'm like, I hate chess. Wait a second. Oh, he found, yeah. Oh my goodness.
Blitz Champs is coming this July. Watch your favorite NFL stars compete for the share of an $100K charity fund. Legendary wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald will be joined by some of the biggest names in the league. Catch Cleveland Browns receiver Amari Cooper, Dallas Cowboys linebacker Micah Parsons, top 5 draft pick Kayvon Thibodeau, and others. It all goes down on July 9th and 10th, right here on chess.com. That is exactly a month from now. Sports fans, you will not want to miss Blitz Champs, and chess fans, you will not want to miss the 25 minutes of 1+1 that we have yet to play here in the I Am Not a GM SCC, our first semifinal match between Danny Rensch and Eric Rosen. Grandmaster Jeffrey Zhang alongside me today. Your thoughts on this 1+1? Does Danny have a realistic shot here?
Yeah, certainly still has, a pretty tough road ahead based on just what I saw from Eric against Levy, where he was just seeing everything in the bullet. So I think Danny, he is going to need his A game here and try and pick his spots. I hate to do this, but I have to give Smart Chess some credit, because if I'm doing the math right, he did also predict a 1-point lead for Eric going into the bullet. So
no, this is pretty impressive. I join you in begrudgingly, applauding Smarter Chess. But Danny has to buck these trends in the 1+1, of course.
And wait a second. Oh, okay. I thought he got it exactly right. He seems like he predicted 8 to 7. Okay, so it's 7.5, 6 now. He was basically half a point or 1 game off.
Crazy. That's pretty darn impressive. And for Danny, I'm not as much worried about the fact that he's going to lose on time. One of my worries is that he's going to overcompensate. He's going to be so afraid of getting into time pressure that he's going to blitz out the first 20 moves and get lost positions consistently. He has struggled in the opening across several different openings in this match overall.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I think it's going to be so important for him to get off to a good start, display very good rhythm, maybe pressure Eric on the clock a little bit. Because, yeah, if he loses a couple of games, I think it's just going to be, an uphill battle.
Yeah, it's currently a 1-point match. Eric leading by a single point. I would go so far as to say that the first game of the bullet is going to set the tone. We're going to see whether Danny can carry over his incredibly good form from yesterday's match against Bibisara, in which he was absolutely dominant in the bullet, but he was also the beneficiary of a lot of one-move blunders by Sara, and I don't think Eric is going to extend him the same favor. We will find out. Here we go. Eric Rosen has the white pieces, and for the first time this match, Jeffrey, He saved the English for the bullet.
Yeah, certainly match strategy here from Eric. Maybe hoping that this is a line Danny might need some time to recall. Let's see what he has in mind here.
Dania. Right. Okay, bishop g4. This is looking pretty reasonable for black, to be honest. Castles?
But
no?
I mean, white does have. I feel like white has a big center though, so
Big
I'm not
center,
sure I
well
like
placed,
it.
light squared bishop too.
And
Ooh,
also
I don't like
now-
bishop f3. That was a
Well,
terrible move.
Yeah, he needed probably to go back to e6, but yeah, now he's just going to come under fire. Rook b5 was also queen g3.
He's getting killed here. Rook c1. The position basically plays itself. Bishop f5.
Ooh, bishop f5. Okay, you wait. He took first. Okay, that makes sense too.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
just
and
trying
now
to
wait.
get control
Even
of the
bishop
file.
bishop b5 is a move.
Even e6 is interesting.
Oh
Bishop g6.
yeah, there are many ideas here with the back rank.
Bishop
ideas.
g4 is a huge threat, and he doesn't see it. And I guess bishop g4, queen a4.
Oh, but
knight
he's coming
c6,
after the
bishop
knight.
e5.
Oh, great eye here from Eric. Great awareness.
Knight is totally trapped. Knight a2, rook c2 is similarly over.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe there queen f5, but that's
Oh, okay.
that's
okay.
not really gonna save you.
Oh wait, but this definitely won, right?
Nope. Queen a4, fork. Yeah, rook c8, rook takes h8. Eric just going down the simplification route. And I would throw an e6 at the first available opportunity, such as now.
Oh, and he does just that.
Queen e5 is coming, and it's unstoppable, and you're busted. Bishop, no.
I think just queen e5 here.
Yep, and d5 falls.
And
ef and queen
bishop
takes
h,
d5.
yeah. I think Danny shouldn't waste too much time playing this.
No, he plays until checkmate.
Okay, nice mate there at the end.
Yeah, the 22 more minutes left. So at this point, there's still plenty of time. But that was not a good start for Danny. He played too quickly in the opening, as we were discussing, and several very, very questionable decisions. And again, he's going to repeat this bishop d4 line.
Yeah, he's probably going for... He wants his rook c1. I think that's what worked for him. Some rook c1.
Slightly different approach this time. He doesn't put his bishop on d4.
Yeah, this should probably be a better version for Danny. But yeah, okay, we're getting very similar things to what we saw in Blitz.
a5. And in Bullet, it's incredibly important to play what makes you feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, Eric, I like knight c6 here, kicking the bishop, and then eventually something will happen.
And he castles,
Ooh,
and
okay.
Danny trying to create something on the king side.
I like this approach from Danny, but can he do anything here?
Yeah, he's made all the low-hanging fruit moves, but what does he do now?
Okay, he's gonna try and regain that pawn, but not gonna be easy. And Eric's so safe now.
And that king's gonna survive an apocalypse on g8.
Takes on d3.
Okay,
and now
c8.
b3. I think.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Because the classic a3. Oh, there's a check on c2 and then rook a8.
There's no way he can get away with that. Yeah, just checking. Okay, he can still maybe play knight somewhere.
Yeah, knight d4, and you have to, because otherwise rook takes a3 is killing.
But you are going to be just down a pawn and probably compensation as well.
Okay, maybe also rook d2. I think that holds on by the skin of white's teeth.
Yeah, rook d2 is also playable. Goes knight c1.
Bishop f6.
Oh yeah, there's not even any rush. Wait,
what's the follow-up? Knight takes b2.
Oh,
what is he
but
doing?
Why? I'm not sure why to sack the exchange like that.
Eric just completely imploded, and you have to play rook takes b2 now and allow the rook trade, the queen trade.
You do, but I mean, still, his position was that good that it's still unclear even after this.
Which is amazing, honestly, because bishop f6 is a big threat.
Yeah, and I still like black. King h7, great move. Oh, but he blunders this. Wait, rook c1. Oh no, rook c1 doesn't work. Okay, bishop.
Yeah, but rook h7, there's de.
Yeah, that's not a great transformation.
Nope. And now a3 is hanging, and white's king could be the one caught in the crossfire.
Yeah, black is certainly better here. But wait. So knight d3, I guess.
Rook b2 check, king a1. Danny's still holding on, but gosh, this
Yeah,
looks terrible.
But I think he's gonna lose another pawn.
Bishop
Yeah,
b2.
just bishop. Yeah. You can even
Then,
take
like-
on c1 if you want.
I'm surprised there isn't checkmate, like bishop b2, bishop d4, then rook b2, and bishop g4.
Yeah, maybe you should just take on e4. Yeah, just play it simple.
Very practical decision making, and he's going to take a ton of time off the match clock with this game, which he's very
Yeah, I
likely to
would-
win.
I don't see. Oh, okay, he's gonna try rook h8.
Rook e7.
Okay.
The rook trade is out of the question for white.
Yeah.
Four.
Wait, can he? Oh no.
Okay, now e4 is coming. And this
Yeah,
is easy.
great
The king
setup.
is so safe and everything is defending each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Danny should resign now.
Yeah, I don't see Eric spoiling this.
No.
Oh, there's only one way. Okay, but no. No.
There's e3.
Yeah,
Danny.
Danny. He had a shot that game, but
Yeah, pretty serious one. Oh, rook takes f4.
Wait,
He
whoa.
missed it. He blundered the pawn. Oh my god, and he's got 1 second.
oh my goodness.
Oh, move.
Wait.
And Danny
Okay,
pre-moves.
Yeah, okay, he still needs to keep his cool and hold this.
Yep. And Eric should be able to draw this, but that is insane.
I mean,
I thought he should have resigned.
unbelievable. Yeah, as did I. I mean,
What was Eric thinking? King G2 or whatever, giving up that pawn for no reason.
definitely
Okay, but this
very
is
careless.
this is a dead draw, and I think Danny should offer one or take on
Or
G6
just take on G6, I guess. Yeah. No,
because
he's gonna try. It seems. No. Okay.
oh, good job by Eric not pre-moving there, and a disappointing result for him as he shakes his head. But okay, he's still up by 2, and he's been completely in charge in these bullet games so far.
He has been. Yeah, Danny needs to pick up his level a bit. Okay, switched this to e5, but this I don't love this position for black.
C5. So the center is closed down, and the bishop is out to f4, and the b5
I mean, I think-
square is weak.
Yeah, I mean this again looks unpleasant for Danny.
Yeah,
Now-
95.
Yeah,
I mean,
95 's certainly an option, but just in general, the position is just yeah.
Yeah, no,
What?
I really don't like knight takes c3 because now white's center is so compact and well defended that you don't have to worry about the pressure on d4.
And a4, I get he wants knight a5, but that pawn is just going to drop off after queen d1. Oh,
Or
and he
rook
blunders
e8, the
rook
queen is
e8.
going to drop off.
And unfortunately, it's not just the queen. He's going to lose the knight too.
And then he's going to lose. Well, knight c6, but he's going to lose.
Oh,
the
he has
pawn.
knight c6. Okay. Yeah, and Danny, he's rattled for sure.
He's rattled and he's playing so quickly here. Again, that's what I was saying. He should take a little bit longer in the opening. Try to get decent positions because when Eric gets his type of position, you just can't expect to win a lot of games against him. And Danny is just hemorrhaging pawns here.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with that comment of Danny. Yeah, he has to find a way not just to bullet out all of his moves. He needs to know when to invest some time.
Yeah, the moves actually have to be good.
And again, I would
Yeah.
resign this. Okay, I know that Eric blundered away the last game, but you can't always assume and hope that he will,
Yeah, this is a lot more winning even than that endgame. Because here you're just up a queen.
Well, that endgame was pretty winning.
That is no. I'm saying that's saying a lot because that was totally winning too. Queen d6
Yeah.
and 95.
But
If you're
he's
Eric,
wasting
you
too much
consider
time, I think.
stalling.
Yeah, I think he is. I saw him do this against Levy at the end. So you need to just resign.
15 minutes on the match clock, 15:30, and a 3-point lead, and that's the largest lead of the match for Eric. And what was knight c3?
Yeah, he misplayed. I mean, he's just giving a pawn up.
but
oh, wait, but why-
Nobody's taking anything. I mean, literally.
That was. I mean, Danny is clearly playing too fast for his own good.
Yeah. He keeps getting worse positions, and he continues to bullet out these mediocre moves.
Yeah,
H6.
bishop. Oh, h6 is. You can even get away with that. Yeah.
Whoa. What's the follow-up to that?
No,
What is the
this
idea
is-
of this?
I have no idea what Danny's doing right now.
I think
this-
some people call it tilt.
I mean, this
No.
is. I mean, this knight should f7 this is like amateur hour, right? Like beginners would kind of go for something like
No,
that.
this is horrible because there's like, if there is a way to attack the rook, fine. No, bishop e6. What is he doing? Danny is completely discombobulated. He's playing way too quickly, and he's tilting away this match right now.
Yeah, I don't.
And
he's
he,
gotta-
oh,
He has to find a way to right the ship right now.
4-point match. He's still in it. He's
Wait,
still
wait.
Oh, knight b5.
Knight b5 he's giving now?
What is he doing? He's just self-destructing completely. And Eric, what's
Okay.
taking him so long?
At least there's e5, knight h5. It's not.
It really is not. It's actually not the end of the world at all.
Yeah, it's just a pawn down, e3.
Yep. E3, knight f4. Yep, it's bad, but
Oh,
that's
but
not
now
the way
he's gonna
he
get a
takes
good
it, 6.
position.
Oh my
Now he's
God,
gonna get a
bishop
good
G3.
position here. Okay, knight d6.
Must win game here, and he finally has a good position out of the opening. By hook or by crook, somehow.
Yeah, it's not. You don't expect that after his knight b6. Whoa, e6.
Whoa! Looks
Oh,
very
this might
fancy.
be good. Wait, I think this is good actually,
ED.
because you force black to ruin his pawn structure.
Yeah, and queen d7 is an awkward move. Now you're going to have a hard time developing your light-scored bishop.
Yeah, that was a very, very great find by Eric.
Okay, so he kind of stabilizes bishop d3, knight f3, c3, and black will have a hard time castling also.
Yeah, this looks bad for black.
Oh, it's a 4.
I think you're just gonna lose a pawn. Yeah.
Rook h7. Eric's in good shape. again.
Yikes.
The funny thing is, oh no.
Oh, what?
I was going to say
Okay.
he can castle after rook takes h7.
Yeah, you can.
It would have been legal, is all I was going to say. that was the extent of my comment. It was legal to castle.
Yeah, and this is just. I mean, not okay. Queen g4.
You're just getting that feeling that Danny's going to lose every game.
Yeah. Oh, queen still lets him off the hook a bit. Surprised.
With queen
to see
a4,
that.
queen takes b4. Oh, and then bishop takes b2 at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. so
Still.
b5.
I still think White's doing
I mean, they're still.
fine.
Yeah, should be. I don't think there's any risk, which is the most. I mean, most important probably.
F3, king f2 is going to happen, and Eric is going to start untangling. Oh,
Yeah,
rook c1, rook c1.
Oh yeah, both bishops are loose.
Oh, Danny's going to miss it, and he has to play bishop takes d4. What a disaster.
Yeah,
And
he's
Eric's
gonna have to-
going to win.
I mean, or Danny's gonna have to. I mean, they're gonna at least Eric can burn 3 minutes or something.
Oh, totally, easily. F4, G4, and yeah, no
He's
chance,
gonna-
no serious chances here.
I mean, this is a position where you can just take your time, bleed as much time as you want.
And he's
Oh,
just
but-
allowed F4.
Yeah, that's just okay. Oh, he had
F4?
F4. Yeah, he had F4 and bishop F5, but
Oh,
still,
F4 mate.
okay. You couldn't get out of that.
Oh my God! What a painful last 15 minutes.
So.
Oh, and there's
brutal.
that Stafford. Yeah, but in Danny's current condition, I feel like he's not exactly like doing a good job of. Okay, but that was actually well handled by Danny.
Yeah, this is good. Bishop e3.
Not that it's hard to handle the Stafford, White, but it's like basically anything is winning.
Okay, at least I mean, okay, he's still theoretically he's in this match, but he has to do something drastic.
There is enough time for 5 games. He's much better. It all starts with 1 win. But
Yeah, what do you
right now
think
his
about-
confidence is down. Mhm.
It's very, very down. What do you think about Eric's decision to I feel like he's kind of celebrating a bit early with the Stafford, no?
Yeah, well, if he loses a game, I think his
Oh,
he's-
take
he
it and
said,
knight B-
okay,
yeah.
knight b5. No,
That's
this is
another pawn.
Oh,
Oh wait, whoa! Why I completely blundered that.
I missed that too. Castle's defending both pawns, and it's still good for White. C3 is an alert move. Otherwise, your knight would have gotten trapped. Oh, but why knight takes c3?
I think it's still okay. Maybe just bring the king up.
Yeah, king d2, king e3 goes f4,
But Eric's gonna get his knight to d4.
and the rook to e8, and it's very active. And d4, there's knight takes e4.
Okay, rook
And
one's a
again,
good move.
I'm just getting that sense that a blunder is coming at any moment.
Oh, because e5 g5 is very strong here, by the way.
Ooh, and now
Or,
g5
I mean-
still.
Right, just the idea. Okay, knight b5 threatens knight d6. King b8.
Oh, knight
Wait,
d6.
he blunders knight d6, I think.
Oh, takes.
There's no
takes,
no
and
there
there's
aren't
no
any
discovery.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
He can still play c5 there and say he has some compensation.
And this is going to take Danny a long time to win.
Oh yeah.
If he even wins it.
Oh, bishop h5 is a good move.
Rook f8 and king d7 and pretend that you sacrifice the exchange.
Yeah, it's very solid.
Now he's going for the trade.
Okay. At least less chances to blunder when you kill this knight.
9 minutes left on the match clock. There might not even be enough time for 4 games, to be honest, because one game can easily take 3 minutes.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I mean, he has to step on the gas, basically.
And he's got to be perfect. Not a single draw can be allowed by Danny.
Man, but this is not, I mean, this is going to take quite a bit. This should be
It's not a given that he wins this.
No.
I mean, it kind of is, but we've
Okay,
seen
now
crazier
Eric,
things this match.
Okay, it's still, what do you do here? Like,
I mean, you prepare d5, but
no,
not
but
anymore.
now bishop's going to get there.
Bishop d5. And then you go like rook g8 and g5. And
Right, yeah, if g5, black could get some counterplay of its own.
God, that bishop is so slippery.
Yeah, this is hard, actually.
Bishop back. Don't allow... Actually, the sack on e4 is not that dangerous. Or it's
No,
not as
I
clear
mean,
cut.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay, now it is, but...
He opens the g file, but it's still... Wait, rook h4 there? Okay.
In the blink of an eye,
Come
there's now
back.
8 minutes left, and they're not even done with the game.
Yeah, this is tough.
Oh,
wait,
it's
don't
gonna be
blunder repetition.
Rook
He might have to
H3, I guess.
sack. I don't see another way besides sacking.
No, but king f5! King f5!
Oh, no,
he
he
should have
gets
taken
king
e4!
f5.
He should have taken the e4. Oh, he blundered his rook! He's gonna lose! Oh my god, and Danny can't believe it. It's over. And Eric doesn't even betray a smile. I mean, he's just like business as usual.
Okay, he goes, I think Smith Mora this game.
Oh, wait. Was there a hanging? Oh, you're supposed to sack that bishop.
Yeah. It was working. And
Danny is so tilted right now.
I mean, even a simple move like rook e1 could be, but b4 and Eric goes for the throat.
But I feel like right now anything is going to work against Danny. Whoa, bishop b5.
Oh, but not
knight
that,
c6.
not that.
Except bishop b6 though. Bishop b6, you sacrificed it. Yep. And back to b3 and you attack.
Okay.
Oh, where's my bishop? Oh no. Queen b3.
It's still, yeah, I mean.
This is not easy. In bullet, it's position very difficult. But maybe knight g6. Okay, bishop e7. Okay, consolidate.
Agreed. And okay, yeah, I mean, as long as Danny just gets castled, he hasn't even, okay, he's got kind of on the board with that one draw, which was in a dead loss position, no less. So it's just really not been his segment.
Yeah, he has half a point, and this one is still not over. Eric is trying to use his limited material to create as much trouble as possible, and now the e-file is open. F4. If you put a knight on e5, there's f4. Oh,
wait, but now he just gives up
f6.
g7? Oh my goodness.
Now it's totally anybody's game. King f8, though.
King f8, very important move.
Yep, unpinning.
Wait, knight e5, but at the very least takes an f4. At the very least.
And probably at the most, but at the most
You're
as well. But I think white
yeah.
is fine.
You're satisfied with that.
Ain't no got no. Knight on
Wait,
e5.
I thought
Wait,
b7. B7's hanging.
B7 is hanging, and then a8 is hanging with check. Oh, and e5 with check. Rook f1. It's mate.
It's all gone south.
It's all totally spiraling out of control for Danny. And it's going to be a 7-point game right now. 7-point match, rather.
All right, at least the king has found some form of shelter there.
King h4 and king h3. Okay. This is how Danny wins his first game.
All right, it's 5 seconds. He doesn't know what to do.
Queen f1.
Wait.
Oh, takes e5.
Wait.
No.
Is there no mate?
e5. I don't think so.
Oh, there's no mate. Wait. Hold on. Rook c4. Oh, no,
Okay,
it is.
It is king g5. H4. Oh, and king f3.
That's unfortunate.
Bang. And Danny, a valiant defensive effort, but it wasn't enough. Uh-oh. Now Eric pulling out all the stops. Why doesn't he take on e5?
Well, I guess after losing last game, he suddenly thinks Stafford is suddenly in unrefutable.
Yeah, he won it because of the opening.
Totally. All right, G4, Danny gonna maybe have a little bit of fun now.
God, it's 14-7 already. Honestly, like that's what happens when the bullet is lopsided. These matches feel like they're, the players are in two different universes, but in reality, it was close all the way through.
Truly was. I mean, Danny for a moment there, he was playing good chess. The late stages of the 3-minute, and it seemed like this was anybody's match, but just could not find any. Oh, and he blunders a piece now.
Oh. Queen C7. He's going to resign this one too. And this has gone completely in the wrong direction for Mr. Rensch. I think that was the fear of most Danny Rensch fans coming into the match, honestly. And this is the worst fear coming true, because you know that Eric's biggest advantage is in the bullet.
Yeah, and it didn't used to be like that. I think the last IMSCC, Eric, that might have been his weakness, actually. So
yeah,
it just goes to show he's done a lot of work in the off season, and now he's very tough.
It shows that you can get better at bullet. I think a lot of people kind of identify themselves as bad or good bullet players as if it's rigid, but just like any other skill, you can get faster, you can get better, you can build up a repertoire that's more suited to a bullet style of play. I think Eric is a great success story in that regard.
Totally. And okay, we're back to this sort of close to ceiling. Seen it a few times, but now it's typical Grand Prix stuff. And
this is bullet. Like as old as the hills. Knight G5. Danny is just allowing anything. I mean, he's 96.
Oh wait. Oh man. All right, Eric doesn't see it, so FG. But I mean, this also just check and takes.
Yeah, Queen H8. What is he thinking about?
This is rough. Queen H6.
Queen H6, but Rook
he
F7?
wants to really. No. What do you mean?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
No, yeah, Eric really rubbing it in here.
No, but you know what? I was thinking Rook F7, Bishop D4, and then Rook H7, and Black wins because.
Oh, okay.
That's what my eye was caught by. Just take and take, Jesus.
No, he really wants to rub it in. I feel.
Right.
But okay. This is more than enough.
Yep. 92, and now F4 falls, and that's game. Yeah, Danny just not able to find his footing in the bullet. I think you could kind of tell from game one even that things were about to go south, as you're saying.
You really could. I think I'm trying to remember what exactly was that Eric had white. Oh, the C4 game. Yeah, he had basically just lost that right out of the opening.
Yep. And it's a 9-point match, and this is probably going to be the last game of the match.
Yeah, I'm hoping Danny
good
can
for
get.
Danny.
Yeah, I'm hoping he gets some form of consolation here and on a good note.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Eric, a little cheeky there. He's trying to figure out what the bishop takes c4 is possible.
Yeah, he's obviously playing. Yeah, he's playing this G5 or no? Yeah.
Copycat chess, castles.
Good sense of humor.
Queen E3, Queen E6. Yeah, you can still keep copying for now.
Yeah, D4, D5. Why not?
I think Danny is deliberately making moves that are copyable. This is hilarious. Bishop E7. Oh!
Actually, oh no, come on, Eric. Why? 97 was perfectly
you can
playable
still
there.
synchronize again.
Come on, that you're not supposed to do that. But I was gonna say, as a kid, I remember we used to do this all the time.
No, I love doing that at some point. It was like the coolest thing ever when you can actually get away with it. It can be quite a hard strategy to refute, actually, in certain cases.
It can, yeah. But yeah, now I mean, Eric, he's been punished for not copying, and his position is
Knight G2.
Oh no, okay. We see it now. Wait, what is he doing? He doesn't even defend on G4.
Danny is just like not like Eric has been attacking his pieces and he's just not moved them. Knight G2, Jesus, that's a fork.
No, this I mean, hard to argue with this though.
Oh, knight g2, there was already like queen takes g5, so I agree. Rook h2, and well, rook f1, bishop a6.
Yeah, c4, a4, it's all goes apart. But
Yeah.
Dan's gonna try c4.
What we really need is a Botez gambit. That's what we've been missing in the bullet.
Right, we
Like
haven't seen that just yet.
Queen e2 or something. a4.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and knight takes e4.
Wait, c5 might be an idea for white. But he misses it.
Yeah,
Now
Danny's
a4
totally
is-
going to play that. Yep. After missing like one move tactics the entire bullet segment.
Yeah, I don't know.
G4.
Yeah, knight g4 is a lot of things are pretty good here.
Yeah. Eric's going to pretend to make this close. Ooh, I'm down to 10 seconds. Oh, queen
Oh,
a4.
queen d7. Oh, and f2 is gonna fall.
And knight d3
Oh, knight
is
d3.
going to happen.
But
King a7 is so
is
cold.
Very, very cold.
Knight d3 is coming. Just don't
Gosh.
blunder b6.
Yeah, you can just defend it. There's no way for white to do anything.
Will Danny score the miracle honor
Oh,
goal?
the queen's trap.
Oh! I'm telling you, that's what we were lacking. Botez gambit, and now we got one, and now we can end the match.
Indeed.
And now the match can officially come to an end. Ooh. And Danny resigns. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the match. It's 7-7. There's just one small difference. Eric's number has a tens digit. That's not 0. Not a big deal, right? Basically a tie match.
Yeah, we should have a tiebreak.
Right.
All right.
17-7, our final score, ladies and gentlemen. Eric Rosen with a dominating performance in the bullet. It was close all throughout, but Danny Rensch just couldn't match the speed. He couldn't match the accuracy and the opening preparation. We will have both of these players in for an interview. I think this is going to be a fun one. You will not want to miss the interview. But first, a short break to get them set up. You're watching the I Am Not a GM Speed Chess Championship here on chess.com. We congratulate Eric Rosen, and we will have an interview with the players in just a couple of moments. Welcome back to the I Am Not a GM Speed Chess Championship. We've got Danny and Eric here for an interview. Eric, let me start with you. Congratulations on your win. That was an absolutely merciless bullet segment. Going into the match, was it your explicit strategy to sort of keep it close until the bullet and just go to town during the 1 minute segment?
Well, first of all, thank you. No, I really wanted to extend my lead in the blitz, but Danny, I feel like just got the better of me in so many games and even positions I was better. He was putting up resistance and getting wins from lost positions. And another thing, I didn't really have time to prepare for the match because I really thought I would be playing BB Sara. And I spent the last few weeks looking up BB Sara's games and not Danny's games. So it was a surprise to play him today.
Well, I did you a favor, I guess, beating BB Sara. We get more Eric Rosen in the Speed Chess Championship. So.
Danny, I love that camera angle.
I'm keeping the obituary, that is my death. Let it be known throughout the land. playing with the mood of the bullet portion.
Yeah.
So
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Jeffrey.
I was supposed to ask a question, but I couldn't keep a straight face with with Danny's camera.
I can turn the lights on if it makes you more comfortable.
I think you have to, otherwise I'm just gonna start dying over here.
All right. Well, you're new, so I'm gonna take it easy on you.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, I guess first question to Eric. So I feel like Danny would probably agree with this, but out of the opening, you just had so many good positions. You mentioned that you didn't expect Danny, but did you anyway, get some sort of prep going against him?
Oh yeah, of course. I checked his games, and we had some like mini match a long time ago where I think we repeated a lot of the same openings from that match. So yeah, of course, I was expecting like Taimanovs and Sicilian. I think he played D4 a few times, which I wasn't expecting, but I did manage to get like a lot of the prep I looked at least last night. So that was nice.
Mm-hmm. Danny, the bullet will not enter your, Danny Rensch's greatest match segment book that will be released pretty soon. Was there a particular moment that tilted you, or was it just, you kind of got off on the wrong foot and never found that balance? What went wrong for you, would you say, in the bullet?
Yeah, I kind of knew, that I was in trouble in the bullet if I didn't have, a game or two lead at least, not even that a game or two would have been safe, obviously, with how I performed. But I think, these things are very much, a game of momentum in many ways, right? And so sometimes when it rains, it pours, and quicksand, you can't get yourself out, and the harder you squirm, the faster you sink, right? So I know it got away from me, and I don't think that in a normal circumstance I would have a little more kind of wherewithal to grab myself, but I don't know where it went. I just was making blunders in the bullet, and I think it probably it hurt to have like such a. I was definitely convinced that I was just going to get massacred in bullet. Like I was coming in. I was talking about it with Robert Hess. I was like, yeah, we both kind of agreed that regardless of how the blitz portion went, and I was down a point. There were I didn't really get a chance to look at anything. My match with Bibasar was yesterday. I tried to hit up Fabi for some prep. Fabi gave me a little bit, but Eric didn't play into anything that we looked at, so it didn't matter. Eric went a completely different direction from things I thought I might get. So anyway, I obviously lost to the better player today. I think that the blitz, if it was a continued blitz match, I feel like I have a chance, and I think I can stay with that. But I think in the bullet, especially when you don't a bullet, I feel is like one of those skills that leaves you pretty quickly if you're not playing a lot of it, and I just couldn't keep up. So I don't know if it was a particular game or not.
Yeah, I totally know what you mean when it just. I had my fair share of matches like this. I think my first year against MVL, we were so close in the blitz, and then I lost by 8 in the bullet, and it just didn't. Looking at the score, it doesn't seem close, but we know that this was very, very close in the blitz segment. So I just had one last question for you. I think, okay, obviously you didn't go out as you wanted, but I think still you should be very happy just getting here, winning 2 matches. Was there anything this year like different, you would say, compared to years past with this event?
I don't know. No, I mean, I feel like this event is super fun. You know, obviously we need to tweak the format a little bit to give me a chance to win. We'll figure that out. No, I'm kidding. This was all part of my plan. The longer I have Eric in this tournament, the less he streams on Lee Chess, right? So take that, Lee Chess, right? This is all part of my plan. No, I'm kidding. I don't really have any thought about how I could have played better. I think I played pretty well. I think in the previous, you know, I lost to Teddy in like overtime in the first year. I played like crap against Lawrence last year, but Lawrence also gets a lot of credit because he came like with like a whole like match strategy that was just like, okay, he just, you know, threw me off my game. So, you know, I feel like I played pretty well, and I'm actually pretty happy with how I played in the blitz portion, especially given that, you know, the openings. If I was to say 2 things that leave you as a chess player when you're not playing a lot and coaching a lot and you're not in that world, is because commentary is very different, are like your openings you just can't keep up with opening theory. You can't keep up. And I think the actual physical skill of time scrambles is just very difficult for me. And so especially given that I was getting a lot of bad positions, I feel pretty good about how I played. You know, and I think that Eric, as I said, coming in, I told you my goal was to not lose by double digits, Danya, but look what happened.
Well, I mean, the score doesn't really...
Well, you told me to like hold up to it, you know, so we got our double digit loss.
I jinxed you, and now I got what I wanted.
I'm teasing.
Eric, final question to you before we let you go. You're in the finals. You're playing the winner of Shuvalova and Canty, 2 completely different players. Would you prefer to play either of them? And what are your thoughts on how you're going to keep yourself calm and centered, and how you're going to prepare for the final?
Yeah, I should first of all correct you. There's the winner of that match plays Lawrence Trent.
Sorry, plays Lawrence Trent. Yeah. The winner of Trent and the winner of Shuvalova.
This is where he ranks all 3 of them who he wants to play in reverse order.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know who to expect. And I guess I was wrong predicting that I would play BB Sara today. So I really don't know. Like, Canty's been working incredibly hard lately, just studying so much chess, and he really impressed in his first match over Kostya. And Shuvalova is also like incredibly strong, and Lawrence Trent as well. Like, he took down Greg. So yeah, I really don't know, but I'll enjoy watching the quarterfinal and semifinal matches before I have to play the finals.
Well, we will keep a very close eye on the final. Best of luck to you, Eric. Danny, thank you for playing. Always a pleasure to watch you.
Thanks, guys. Good luck, Eric.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Bye. Okay, Jeffrey, yet another match in the books. We have one finalist set. He will be playing the winner of Lawrence Trent and the winner of Shuvalova against Canty. And what an exciting final we have on deck for us, really, regardless of who Eric faces. Eric is just incredibly fun to watch all of the time. He's just one of those players, right?
Yeah, and I feel like he's been so stable in this whole event. I think he hasn't really gotten any like serious deficits as far as I can recall getting here. So, I mean, well-deserved finalist, and whomever he plays is in for a very tough fight.
Absolutely. Between his opening preparation, his newfound bullet skills, and his overall emotional and psychological stability, he is one of the toughest opponents in the IMSCC field. And the next match between Polina Shuvalova and James Canty to determine who will face Lawrence to see who Eric will play in the finals, that match is coming your way on Monday, June 20th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. That is this coming Monday, Monday after next. So that is 12 days from now. But mark your calendars, because you will not want to miss this battle of titans. Who you got, Jeffrey, in that match?
I usually side with the chalk. I'm not too familiar with the Big Jim. I think So we'll see. I mean, I could be wrong, but I gotta go Shuvalova.
Me too. I mean, Canty, Eric said he's been working very hard. He's a super explosive player, so we can expect a very, very close match on June 20th. But for now, the time has come for us to wrap up. We congratulate Eric Rosen. He is our first I Am Not a GM SCC finalist. And Jeffrey, it is always a pleasure and an honor to commentate these matches with you. And today was no exception. I'll pass it to you for your final thoughts before we wrap up the broadcast.
Yeah, likewise, Daniel. Really great fun as always. I think it leaves a bit of a sour taste in my mouth that I feel like we should have, gone to see, or at least hope to see, Danny contest better in the bullet. But nonetheless, we had many exciting moments there, and expect to see many more.
We will indeed. But for now, we'd like to thank everybody in the chat for supporting your favorite player. This was such a long-awaited match, and it certainly did not disappoint. A big shout out to our producer, Matt, for another excellent broadcast. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, we wish you a great rest of your Wednesday. We will see you on June the 20th for the next I Am Not a GM Speed Chess Championship match. But for now, keep on playing, keep on watching, and we will see you very soon. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. And goodbye from the I Am Not a GM Speed Chess Championship here on chess.com.